too black. But if I get what you take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day, you dream like you forgive my mistakes. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day, you dream give and take, only take enough to swallow the pain. Drown the pain until it all wash away. From the night to the day, you forgive my mistake. It becomes another habit to break. I'll replay it till the guilt turns to shame. From the night to the day. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? It's the end of the weekend, but I still wanna turn up. Yeah, I still wanna turn up. All I want is to go again, but you ain't picking your phone up. Why you messing my head up? Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is just saying yeah, 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 yeah. Better nights, better days, when you're here with me, babe. Cause you're all that I crave, so I wonder, where are you? Where are you? Don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, where are you? Don't be so hard to reach, just pick up your phone. Tell me where you'll be, cause I gotta know. Let me know when you're ready, cause I made reservations. Too many invitations, and the last night was heavy. I need communication. Tell me where's your location. Used to talk 24/7, every other second, just to make sure we were up to date. Now it's closer to 11, and I ain't hearing nothing. I just need to know that you're okay. Hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, where are you? Hey, don't be so hard to reach, just pick up your phone. Tell me where you'll be, cause I gotta know. Any night, any day, let me take you away. All I need is you saying yeah, yeah, yeah. Better nights, better days, when you're here with me, babe. Cause you're all I crave, so I wonder, where are you? Baby, don't hide away from me when I need you most. We got love guaranteed, and I have to know, say, so hard to reach, just pick up your phone. Tell me where you'll be, cause I gotta know. I can hear them thinking out loud, loud. Simple people acting so proud. it's obvious. Please don't spill your mind when you don't have a clue, hey. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us, no. They wouldn't know about us. They keep wishing that I'd fall in line. But you and me, babe, we're one of a kind. One might think it's obvious. Please don't spill your mind when you don't have a clue, hey. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us, no. They wouldn't know about us, They don't know about us, They don't get it, babe, living in a cruel world. It's a rare thing to do just what we do, love. Hold your head high and do it by your own terms. They don't get it, babe, no, they don't get it, babe. They don't know about us, babe. They don't know about us. They can think what they want, baby, but they don't know one thing. Even if they did have a glimpse of our truth, they wouldn't know about us, no. They wouldn't know about us. They don't know about
I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't faze me. I'm going, I keep it factual. I'm on sabbatical. I'm out in Central America. I need a break from hysteria. Park like the one with the carousel. I get it lit in your area. I'm locked to the vision, it couldn't be clear. You couldn't pay me to care enough. I dare you to hate me supreme with the sound through the stereo. So turn it up loud when you hearing us. We live and it's good in your area. My mama proud, she tearing up and it's going down. Got your girl aroused by these massive stacks like 100 pounds. Running big laps till the sun is down like 100 miles. Tinted frames on me leaning down. I'm winning now. Been a while, you ain't like me then, but how you like me now? Real one, if I hold you down, I'ma keep it there till we in the ground. Jet black when I paint the town, only blue sheets when they pay me now. Treat it setback like a step back. Wave, I got the game in a vice grip. Way up when the virus clear. All the homies on the flight list. Verbally gifted, take the plot and I twist it. Got it big lit. Sex with the incense, got my mind rents, won't stop, I'm relentless. I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't faze me. I'm going, I want a girl for the mouthpiece, so bright that it light on my face. Your shawty just call me a fave, cause she like my character traits. I never stop for a break. I put a lock on the game. I put a stock in my name, but I give a f about the fame. I took a bite of life and it tastes so exquisite. It feel like you do when you look in my pendant. Hopeless romantic, my girl, chin up for the kid. I'm not on no simps. Won't stop till the youngest he dreams. Wanna take him from rags to riches. I heard that you claim that you know me, but you ain't the homie. The f is your friendship. I need the loyalty, bag up the royalty. I give a f if you notice me. Ain't nobody holding me. Big wave at your shoreline, so they know it's me. Babe boy from the cold seas. Nitro with a new pen, go at ISO. Tell him don't reach. Ice cold with it, no fleece. I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen day.
You broke my heart 1,000,000 times. Can't count the times I I made you cry. Oh, we're such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah.
Mic check 1 2.
To work things out.
What's up, y'all? Everybody. What's up, y'all? Everybody. The contest is it reset itself, so ignore what it says. But everybody need to hit salute. Type the word salute in the chat.
Let me go. I know you're angry, babe, and I am cold. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones hate, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. To work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah. To work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah. To work things out, to work things out. 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 To work things out, to work things out.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Cyber Monday. I'm putting on my Christmas socks. Can y'all see these? I'm putting on my Christmas socks. This is some socks. I used to sell socks. I had about 200 designs. I used to sell socks. They were called CEO socks because wearing plain socks is an abomination. You see? Men, don't wear plain socks, bro. Plain black socks means you live a plain life. I used to have like 200 designs. I used to sell, I sold them really well. Then my manufacturer went out of business and I couldn't get anybody to make them as cheap as I was making them. So I stopped selling them altogether. Good morning, everybody. Y'all like that? Look, men, one of the mottos I used to, and I used to tell people to wear them in the gym. You should not be wearing plain socks. Men should not own white tube socks. Not a man in America. Not a man of status. Do I got to do a show on that too? I got to do a show on how to have a little swag in your you know, because it's a science to dressing right. It's a science to dressing right. And wearing white tube socks is illegal. White tube. In fact, fellas, go to your drawer, go to your sock drawer, and throw away all your white tube socks. Just throw them away. Just throw them away. I'm talking about the ones you wear to the gym. I'm talking about the ones you wear to go to the basketball court. All your white tube socks. There should be no reason that you own any white tube socks. It should be no reason why a man of means, a man with class and swag, should own white tube socks. All right. Now, you do need some gym socks. They should be either gray, like charcoal gray, or black. Charcoal gray or black socks will work with every pair of shoes. Every single pair of shoes. And your daily socks need to have some style. These are the Christmas ones. I got about 40 different designs in my sock drawer. That's the ones that I like from the ones I used to sell. Nobody should be wearing plain black socks or some plain brown, some chocolate brown, plain ass dress socks. No man should be wearing some navy blue, some plain navy blue socks. Man, when you sit down and you got your suit on and you sit down and your pants lift up, then people, maybe you at the airport, you're getting ready to make a business trip, or maybe you getting ready to start a meeting at the office. When you sit down, I want you to, and your pants lift up, I want everybody in the room, I want all the women that see you sit down and see your pants lift up to say, oh shit, he got style. He got style. He got style. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another chapter of Rich People Read, where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. We are currently reading Think and Grow Rich. Did you guys like that intro? That intro was written for me. I got a ghostwriter. I got a ghostwriter. Not for real. My man wrote that for me. He sent it to me. I like it. Welcome to another chapter of Rich People Read, where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. Currently, we are reading Think and Grow Rich. Excuse the mic cable. I got a new microphone. Hopefully my audio sounds clear. This is the book that we're reading right now, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Mine is falling apart. I've read it so much. We are on chapter 7 of Think and Grow Rich, and that's where we are right now. And we're getting ready to knock out chapter 7. Chapter 7 is kind of big, so I want you guys to sit back. I want you guys to sit back and relax. We're getting ready to get into it. But this is what we're reading. This book here has made more millionaires than any other book published. This book has created more millionaires than any other book published. And so I'm here to hope that the people that's reading along with me, or the people that's listening, is going to be the next millionaires. And so we're knocking this book out, Think and Grow Rich, and we've been knocking out the chapters one by one. We read every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. One chapter a day. Started 2 weeks ago. So we knocked out the first 3 chapters on the first week, the next 3 chapters, and then today we're starting with chapter 7. This week we'll be reading 7, 8, and 9. And today is organized planning, the crystallization of desire into action. You guys ready? This is a little long. You see my man Christian in my ghostwriter. I can't say his name. My ghostwriter Christian. I can't say my ghostwriter Christian's name. He gave me and he gave me my outro. We're gonna say the outro later on. He wrote the outro. Don't tell anybody that Christian Alexander is my ghostwriter. Nobody should know that name. Forget that I said that. Let me hit you with the MIB pen. Wipe your memory. We're reading Think and Grow Rich. We're going to knock out chapter 7. Organized planning. Planning. Everybody understands what the 5 P's are, right? Proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Hopefully my mic sounds good. This is a brand new microphone. The other one was a little tinny. The other microphone I was using was a little tinny. I didn't want to use that one. Here's my old microphone. It was a little tinny. So I gave something that's going to give me a little bit more depth in my voice. Hopefully I'm loud and clear. Let me know if I'm loud and clear. I see people dropping into the contest. You know, we do a contest every time I go live. We do a contest. All you got to do is come into the chat and say salute. Look like Therese Lay just joined into the contest. It has Therese Lay, has Snuggle 668. He just dropped in as I was reading. Thomas Thompson, Christian Alexander, Miss Drea, and Miss Parker back to the basics. Those are the people that's currently in the contest. All you got to do is come in the chat and say salute. This is the SR Army. We're not the US Army, we're the SR Army. And if you just come in and you type the word salute in the chat, you are going to be automatically entered into the giveaway that we do at the end of the show. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. We're going to read a little bit today. Did you guys all hit the like button? Did you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the like button? You know, all of us content creators say that. I see you, Lakeisia. You just popped up in the contest. Did you guys hit the like button on the stream? It's really important. It's really important. Thank you so much. We getting ready to read a little bit. It's Monday. First of all, did you guys have a great Thanksgiving? I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Whenever I spend time with my mom, I have a great time. I'm blessed to still have my mother in my life. I'm 49 years old, and me and my mother, we be laughing. We be talking about stuff. I have a youthful mother. I have the type of mother, she's youthful. She was born in 46, but she's youthful. She's younger than the other women in her age grade. My mother teaches fitness class. Did you guys know? Listen, people be saying, Shan, where can I join your fitness class? I'm not a trainer. I'm a motivator. I motivate people to get into fitness. My mother teaches fitness to the elderly. She goes to the convalescent center sometimes. Because of COVID, she kind of does it on Zoom. My mother, she teaches them, lift your arms, stand up, stretch. So I spent me and my sons, my mother, we broke bread this past Thanksgiving. And then her cooking is amazing. Remember I told you guys, I don't get home cooked. Women don't cook anymore. So I don't get home cooked meals. My mom, she cooked. The grandmothers cook. So my ex-wife's mother, she cooks, and then my mother cooks. So I get the best of both worlds from them. Those two women, they make sure that the boys are fed, along with Papa Shan. But I had a great Thanksgiving spending it with her. We chopped it up. I didn't get to spend too much time with her this weekend. We left at Thanksgiving. No, I intended to spend the night, but then I had to do some work because I was over there Thursday and I forgot I had work to do on Friday. So I had to hurry on out of there and get home so I can get some sleep so I can knock out some work that I had to do on Friday. But I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Prayfully, you were able to spend it with your loved ones like I did. Hopefully you were able to spend it with your loved ones like I did. And hopefully you guys had a very talkative Thanksgiving based on the things that's going on these days, especially in the relationship streets. Whether you're married, whether you're dating, or whether you're single, conversation should have been real interesting this past weekend. I had the show called Fix My Plate. Submission. I had that show Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning. Did you guys watch that show? Go back and look in the videos. The things that men should be doing, the things that women should be doing. Hopefully you guys had very fruitful conversations at your Thanksgiving table and that you enjoyed your weekend and relaxed or spent time with the people that you love. We are getting ready to read chapter 7 of Think and Grow Rich. This is the organized planning. Planning is the key to success. Do you know anybody that's succeeded continuously without planning? You know, we talk about the high value man, right? We talk about the high value man and what it requires. It's not just money. See, you can't just hit the lottery and then suddenly you're a high value man. One of the requirements to be considered a high value person is that you make a certain amount of money over a certain amount of time. That's why just hitting the lottery doesn't do it. You have to make a certain amount of money over a certain amount of time. 3 to 5 years minimum. $10,000 a month for 3 to 5 years minimum. Can you make $10,000 a month for 3 to 5 years continuously without any planning? Can it just happen haphazardly? No. It requires planning, and that's what we're going to talk about in this chapter. This chapter is a little long, so I want you guys to relax. I want you to kick back. Just throw on your headphones. Hell. About to break my watch. Want you guys to kick back, throw on your headphones, listen to your boy Shan. I'm about to read this chapter to you. If you're really about that life, I hope you got your book out so you can read along with us. And if you're really, really about that life, hopefully you have your book and a highlighter or a pen so you can underscore the important points of this chapter. So you can underscore and highlight the important points that we're getting ready to talk about. I appreciate everybody being here. Without further ado, we're getting ready to get started. So just relax. Hopefully my audio sounds good. If my audio is good, can you guys hit a 1? I can't hear anything. Remember, I switched up. I'm not using the AirPods anymore. It's coming through my computer, but I don't have any loop back. Just hit a 1 in the chat for me real quick if my audio is perfect. If it's not, let me know. Say, nah, Shan, you need to increase the volume, or Shan, it's too loud. You need to lower it down. I don't know. This is the first time I'm using this particular mic. Is everything good? Let me know, y'all. Therese says it's good. Lakeisha says it's good. Okay. Jill says it's good. Hey, Jill, all my favorite people are here. Raj is here. What's up, Raj? Raj is in the chat. A to Z Health is in the chat. Is in the contest. Goldie Jones is in the contest. What's up, operator? Okay, cool. Audio sounds good. I like it. I had to order a better boom mic. This one here is flimsy because this mic is heavy. As you can see, it's shaking a lot. So I ordered it on Amazon Prime. It'll be here tomorrow. So the boom, it's gonna be a different boom arm, and then the audio should be fine from now on. I know it sounds better. I did some audio tests and recording. I know this is more what my voice actually sounds like versus the other videos that you guys see. So hopefully this will be a more pleasant reading to you today. Salute, Princess. It's good to have you here, love. Lord Capella. It's good to have you. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let me close this out. Close this out. Close this out. Chapter 7, Organized Planning, the Crystallization of Desire into Action. The sixth step towards getting the bag. We don't call it riches. That was for 1925. Right now, we're calling getting to the bag. You have learned that everything man creates or acquires begins in the form of desire. That desire is taken on the first lap of its journey from the abstract to the concrete into the workshop of the imagination, where plans for its transition are created and organized. In chapter 2, you were instructed to take 6 definite practical steps as your first move in translating the desire for money into its monetary equivalent. I hope you guys are doing that. I hope you're reading your prosperity doctrine every morning and night. Every morning when you wake up and every night when you go to bed. That was instructed to us for chapter 2. And what I mean by that, sidebar, for those that don't know, this book is not just a self-help book. It's an instruction manual. It's an instruction manual, and you have to follow its instructions to a T. You can't swerve. You can't deviate. You can't do some of it. You have to do all of it. And if you do all of it, you'll get what you desire. If it's $10 million is what you desire, you'll get it if you do everything this book tells you to do. One of these steps is the formation of a definite practical plan or plans through which this transformation may be made. You will now be instructed how to build plans which will be practical. A, ally yourself with a group of as many people as you may need for the creation and carrying out of your plan or plans for the accumulation of money-making use of the mastermind principle described in a later chapter. Oh, I can't wait till we get to the mastermind group. That's where I fail when it comes to this book. I've read this book about 3 times so far, and I fail at the mastermind group. I can't wait to get to that. That's why I want you guys to become a member of my channel, because the special forces groups, the special forces level of my channel is part of a mastermind. It's a mastermind group that we're creating right here on YouTube. Compliance with this instruction is absolutely essential. Do not neglect it. B, before forming your mastermind group or your mastermind alliance, decide what advantages and benefits you may offer the individual members of your group in return for their cooperation. What can you do for them that's going to be in your mastermind group? No one will work indefinitely without some form of compensation. No intelligent person will either request or expect another to work without adequate compensation, although this may not always be in the form of money. Arrange to meet with members of your mastermind group at least twice a week, and more often if possible, until you have jointly perfected the necessary plan or plans for the accumulation of money. You have to meet with your group 8 times a month. Twice a week, minimum. Remember, I told you this is where I failed. Once you formulate your mastermind group in your area, in your community, wherever you live, the people, it has to be 2 people or more. You got to meet twice a week, period. There's no days off. There's no excuses. It has to happen. D, maintain perfect harmony between yourself and every member of your mastermind group. If you fail to carry out this instruction to the letter, you may expect to meet with failure. The mastermind principle cannot obtain where perfect harmony does not prevail. What does that mean? No hating, no arguing, no bickering. Sidebar. No hating, no arguing, no bickering, no complainers. Nobody in there just hollering at each other. You got to get along. You cannot be in a mastermind group with somebody that you don't like. You cannot be in a mastermind group. You cannot formulate one. You cannot join one where members in the group is somebody that you don't like. It has to be perfect harmony. I'm sorry. That's the way it has to go. So don't even try it. Well, you know what? I kind of like them, but I think they on some fuck shit over here with that. Nope, then they can't be part of the group. Sorry, they can't be part of the group. Hopefully, these are people that are smarter than you in many areas. You can't be the smartest person in your crew. Then you'll need a new crew. Now, keep in mind these facts. First, you are engaged in an undertaking of major importance to you. To be sure of success, you must have plans which are faultless. Second, you must have the advantage of the experience, education, native ability, and imagination of other minds. This is in harmony with the methods followed by every person who has accumulated a great fortune. No individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of a great fortune without the cooperation of other people. Nobody does it alone. Sidebar. Nobody does it alone, you guys. Nobody of significance have accumulated great wealth all by themselves. Trust me. Back to the reading. Every plan you adopt in your endeavor to accumulate wealth should be the joint creation of yourself and every other member of your mastermind group. You may originate your own plans, either in whole or in part, but see that those plans are checked and approved by the members of your mastermind alliance. Sidebar, you got to run that through your crew. You can't make these plans up and then say, okay, that's good, and I'm going to just execute them and do it myself. You got to, once you create your mastermind group, and this is why I told you, this is why I failed at following the instructions of this book to a T. Once you create your mastermind group of people that you have perfect harmony with, you can't just make up plans on how to get your money without running it through every member of your crew. You got to run your plans by them. It has to be proofread. Let's get back. If the first plan which you adopt does not work successfully, replace it with a new plan. If this new plan fails to work, replace it in turn with still another, and so on until you find a plan which does work. Right here is the point at which the majority of men and women meet with failure because of their lack of persistence in creating new plans to take place of those that fail. The most intelligent person living cannot succeed in accumulating money, nor in any other undertaking without plans which are practical and workable. Just keep this fact in mind and remember, when your plans fail, that temporary defeat is not permanent failure. It may only mean that your plans have not been sound. Build other plans, start all over again. Thomas A. Edison failed 10,000 times before he perfected the incandescent electric light bulb. That is, he met with temporary defeat 10,000 times before his efforts were crowned with success. Temporary defeat should mean only one thing: the certain knowledge that there is something wrong with your plan. Millions of men and women go through life in misery and poverty because they lack a sound plan through which to accumulate a fortune. Henry Ford accumulated a fortune not because of his superior mind, but because he adopted and followed a plan which proved to be sound. 1,000 men and women could be pointed out, each with a better education than Henry Ford's, yet each of whom lives in poverty because they do not possess the right plan for the accumulation of money. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Your achievements can be no greater than your plans are sound. That may seem to be an axiomatic statement, but it is true. Samuel Insull lost his fortune of over $100 million. The Insull fortune was built on plans which were sound. The business depression forced Mr. Insull to change his plans, and the change brought temporary defeat because his new plans were not sound. Mr. Insull is now an old man. He may consequently accept failure instead of a temporary defeat. But if his experience turns out to be a failure, it will be for the reason that he lacks the fire of persistence to rebuild those failed plans. No man or woman is ever whipped until they quit in their own mind. This fact will be repeated many times because it is so easy to take the count, quote unquote, at the first sign of defeat. James J. Hill met with temporary defeat when he first endeavored to raise the necessary capital to build a railroad from the east to the west. But he, too, turned defeat into victory through his new plans. Henry Ford, once again, met with temporary defeat, not only at the beginning of his automobile career, but after he had gone far towards the top. He created new plans and went marching on to financial victory. We see men who have accumulated great fortunes, but we often recognize only their triumph, overlooking the temporary defeats which they had to surmount before actually, quote unquote, arriving. No follower of this philosophy can reasonably expect to accumulate a fortune without experiencing temporary defeat. When defeat comes, accept it as just a signal that your plans are not sound. Rebuild those plans and set sail once more towards your coveted goal. If you give up before your goal has been reached, you are a quitter. And we don't quit over here, right? There's no quitters allowed. Sidebar, no quitters allowed on Shannon Rawls' podcast. If you're a quitter, please leave now. I see how many people we got on here. We got 15 people watching live. If any of you guys are quitters, I need you to leave now. I'll give you 5 seconds. All right, cool. All right, only winners left, right? Here we go. A quitter never wins and a winner never quits. Lift this sentence out, write it on a piece of paper in letters an inch high, and place it where you will see it every night before you go to sleep and every morning before you go to work. That's another instruction, you guys. A quitter never wins and a winner never quits. You need to print that out and put it somewhere where you see it. When you begin to select members for your mastermind group, when you begin to select the people that you want in your mastermind group, endeavor to select those who do not take defeat seriously. Some people foolishly believe that only money can make money. This is not true. Desire transmuted into its monetary equivalent through the principles laid down here is the agency through which money is made. Money of itself is nothing but an inert matter, just a piece of paper. It cannot move, it cannot think, it cannot talk, but it can hear when a man who desires it calls it to come. Planning the sale of services. The remaining of this chapter has been given over to a description of ways and means of marketing personal services. The information here conveyed will be of practical help to any person having any form of personal services to market. Like, say you sell insurance, or say you are a real estate agent, or say you are a fitness instructor, like a trainer of some sort, right? Say you're a self-help coach, or you're a life coach. Okay. The information here conveyed will be of practical help to any person having any form of personal services to market, but it will be of priceless benefit to those who aspire to leadership in those chosen occupations. This is going to be good for those who want to win at the things that I just mentioned, or anything similar to it. Intelligent planning is essential for success in any undertaking designed to accumulate riches. Here will be found detailed instructions to those who must begin the accumulation of riches by selling personal services. It should be encouraging to know that practically all the great fortunes began in the form of compensation for personal services, or from the sale of ideas. What else except ideas and personal services would one not possessed of property have to give in return for riches? If you don't have nothing, what else can you sell other than your personal services, basically? Broadly speaking, here are two types of people in the world. One type is known as leaders, and the other is followers. Decide in the beginning, whether you intend to become a leader in your chosen calling or remain a follower as you are today. The difference in compensation is vast. The follower cannot reasonably expect the compensation to which a leader is entitled, although many followers make the mistake of expecting such pay. It is no disgrace to be a follower. Don't get us wrong. It's okay to be a worker bee. It's okay to be a follower. On the other hand, it is no credit to remain a follower. You don't get credit for remaining a follower all your life. Most great leaders began in the capacity of followers. They became great leaders because they were intelligent followers. With few exceptions, the man or woman who cannot follow a leader intelligently cannot become an efficient leader themselves. The man or woman who can follow a leader most efficiently is usually the man or woman who develops into leadership most rapidly. An intelligent follower has many advantages, among them the opportunity to acquire knowledge from his leader. The major attributes of leadership. I should tell you guys a story. I got so many leadership stories. I got it in my fraternity. I got it in the military. I got it when I was deployed. I got leadership stories I could tell you in fashion. I got leadership stories I could tell you at Sears and how I came to Sears when I got hired there in October of 2009. And by June, I was a manager at a store. Oh my God. I'll tell you guys that in the private, in the membership area. I'll make that a show part of the members, for the members. Let's continue. Hey, Lakeisha. Oh, no, Lakeisha's talking to Red Lipstick. Oh, what's up, Red Lipstick Vibes podcast? Good to have you here. Put your feet up, princess. That's right. Just listen to your boy talk. Operator G says, I'm not as strong as I used to be, but I'm not quitting. It's all about the attitude, right? That's the attitude that's important. I love that attitude. I love that you even strong enough to say that. All right, let's get back into it. The major attributes of leadership. The following are important factors of leadership. Number one, unwavering courage, based upon knowledge of self and of one's occupation. No follower wishes to be dominated by a leader who lacks self-confidence and courage. No intelligent follower will be dominated by such a leader very long. Sidebar. How many of you guys know more than your boss? How many of you guys know more than your supervisor? How many of you guys are smarter than your supervisor and it irritates the shit out of you? You can't understand how they even got into that position. Probably because they were there longer than you. Probably because of nepotism or maybe some cronyism. Maybe they know somebody and they slid them into the position and suddenly they are in charge of you and they don't even know the job. You know everything about your job and their job. I know you guys know who I'm talking about at your workplace. Number two, a major attribute of leadership is having self-control. The man or woman who cannot control themselves can never control others. Self-control sets a mighty example for one's followers, which the more intelligent will emulate. Get your emotions under control, ladies and gentlemen. Stop popping off at the mouth. Stop reacting so fast to everything. Sidebar. Stop being so reactionary to any and everything that somebody says. Think before you speak, for goodness sake. Jeez. Number three, a keen sense of justice. Without a sense of fairness and justice, no leader can command and retain the respect of their followers. Number four, definiteness of decision. The man who wavers in his decisions shows that he is not sure of himself. He cannot lead others successfully. You're on the fence. Sidebar. If you're on the fence, it's like, damn, you're not really sure about shit. You follow. They're not gonna follow you. You can't be a leader if you're not really sure what you're gonna do. Number five, definiteness of plans. The successful leader must plan his work and work his plan. A leader who moves by guesswork without practical, definite plans is comparable to a ship without a rudder. Sooner or later, you will land on the rocks. Number six, the habit of doing more than you're paid for. I should tell you guys a story of me being at Sears. I should tell you guys the story of me being at Sears and how I got promoted and moved up so fast. It blew people's mind, made people hate me there. It made people that's been there for 10, 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. It was a cashier that was there for 20. They hated me because I moved so fast. I should tell you this. It had to do with number six. The habit of doing more than you're paid to do. One of the penalties of leadership is the necessity of willingness upon the part of the leader to do more than they require of their followers. Number seven, a pleasing personality. No slovenly, careless person can become a successful leader. You can't be sloppy. You can't just be all over the place, untidy, looking a mess, sloppy. You come to work looking like a mess. You'll never be a successful leader. Leadership calls for respect. Followers will not respect a leader who does not grade high on all factors of a pleasing personality. Number 8, sympathy and understanding. The successful leader must be in sympathy with his followers. Moreover, he must understand them and their problems. Do you know how to listen to other people? Do you know how to listen? So many of you guys know how to talk. So many of you guys know how to run off at the mouth. Do you know how to shut your mouth and listen to other people? And once you hear their story, can you sympathize or maybe even empathize with what they're telling you? You got to learn how to listen to people. Number 9, mastery of detail. This is one of the things that I have an issue with. Successful leadership calls for mastery of details in the leader's position. It's not something I have an issue with. It's that I know that details matter. And so I get so heavy in the details that it irritates some people. Some people I've been involved with or some people I've worked with. They're like, damn, does that even matter to me? Yes. Yes, success is in the details. Success is in the details. The small shit that you think is inconsequential, what doesn't matter to you, if something's printed backwards or sideways or crooked or off center, if it's just anything from manufacturing clothes to making movies to their final cut. Success is in the small details, and a lot of people don't give a shit about the details. I do. Number 10, willingness to assume full responsibility. The successful leader, I'm gonna read this one nice and slow so you guys can get it. This is about accountability, ladies and gentlemen. This also includes relationships, personal relationships that I know a lot of you guys have an issue with. I'm gonna read this one nice and slow. Willingness to assume full responsibility. The successful leader must be willing to assume responsibility for the mistakes and the shortcomings of his followers. If he tries to shift responsibility, he will not remain the leader. If one of his followers makes a mistake and shows himself incompetent, the leader must consider that it is he who actually failed. How many of you guys have the ability to do that? How many of you guys have the ability to take on the responsibility of one of your followers failing? You're the coach, right? You're the boss. Who do they fire? Do they trade the player or do they fire the coach? Who has the ability to take on the responsibility of other people's failures? You know how hard that is? Number 11, cooperation. The successful leader must understand and apply the principle of cooperative effort and be able to induce his followers to do the same. Leadership calls for power, and power calls for cooperation. There are 2 forms of leadership. The first, and by far the most effective, is leadership by consent of and with the sympathy of the followers. The second is leadership by force, without the consent and sympathy of the followers. History is filled with evidences that leadership by force cannot last. The downfall and disappearance of dictators and kings is significant. It means that people will not follow forced leadership indefinitely. The world has just entered a new era of relationship between leaders and followers, which very clearly calls for new leaders and a new brand of leadership in business and industry. Those who belong to the old school of leadership by force must acquire an understanding of the new brand of leadership, cooperation, or be relegated to the rank and file of the followers, or you're going to lose your position. There is no other way out of this. Excuse me. He says there is no other way out for them. The relationship of the employer and the employee, or the leader and the follower in the future, will be one of mutual cooperation based upon an equitable division of the profits of that business. In the future, the relationship of the employer and the employee will be more like a partnership than it has been in the past. Napoleon, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, the Tsar of Russia, and the King of Spain were examples of leadership by force. Their leadership passed. Without much difficulty, one might point to the prototypes of these ex-leaders among the business, financial, and labor leaders of America who have been dethroned or slated to go. Leadership by consent of the followers is the only brand which can endure. Men may follow the forced leadership temporarily, but they will not do so. But they will not do so willingly. The new brand of leadership will embrace the 11 factors of leadership described in this chapter, as well as some other factors. The man who makes these the basis of his leadership will find abundant opportunity to lead in any walk of life. The Depression of the 20s was prolonged largely because the world lacked leadership of the new brand. At the end of the Depression, the demand for leaders who were competent to apply the new methods of leadership has greatly exceeded the supply. Some of the old types of leaders will reform and adapt themselves to the new brand of leadership, but generally speaking, the world will have to look for new timber for its leadership. The necessity may be your opportunity. That's right, Mickey. It is deep. Absolutely, it is deep. Operator G says, I take up for people. I take up for the people that fail at my job all the time. I also do good things when the boss asks, and who did it? I give one of their names. I don't need the glory. I want to see us all win. Shout out to Operator G. Operator G is always giving credit where credit is not due. Operator G at Operator G's job, when the boss asks, who did this thing? He gives credit to somebody who don't even deserve it. It's Operator G that did it, but he don't be like, boss, I did that. He says, oh, Susie did that. Michael did that. It won't be long before Operator G will be the boss. That's how that works. The 10 major causes of failure in leadership. Let's talk about that, guys. That's right, Princess. Leadership is greater than bossism. We come now to the major faults of leadership who fail, because it is essential to know what not to do as it is to know what to do. Let's talk about it, you guys. Number one, here's the things that cause leaders to fail. 10 things. Number one, the inability to organize details. Efficient leaders call for the ability to organize and to master details. No genuine leader is ever, quote unquote, too busy to do anything which may be required of him in his capacity as a leader. When a man or woman, mind you, this book is written in 1925 and he's speaking to men. Whenever I say man, I really mean men, women, us. It applies to everybody listening. So just understand that this book was written almost 100 years ago. But it applies to ladies too, so don't take it personal. No genuine leader is ever too busy to do anything which may be required of him in his capacity as a leader. When a man, whether he is a leader or a follower, admits that he is too busy to change his plans or to give attention to any emergency, he admits his inefficiency. The successful leader must be the master of all details connected with his position. That means, of course, that he must acquire the habit of relegating details to capable lieutenants. Number two, this is the reason why leaders fail. Unwillingness to render humble service. Truly great leaders are willing when occasion demands, to perform any sort of labor which they would ask another to perform. You got to be willing to do, sidebar, you have to be willing to do what you order other people to do. You can't just be bossing people around and telling people to do shit that you yourself wouldn't do. You yourself don't know how to do. You yourself is incapable of doing. Truly great leaders are willing, when occasion demands, to perform any sort of labor which they would ask another person to perform. The greatest among ye shall be the servant of all, is a truth which all leaders observe and respect. Number 3 reason why leaders fail. Expectations of pay for which they know instead of what they do with that which they know. Okay, hold on. Let me read that. That's a tongue twister for me. Expectation of pay for what they know instead of what they do with that which they know. The world does not pay men for which they know. Oh, got it. That's right. Okay, I got it. I teach this too. It pays them for what they do or induce others to do. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, you guys. It doesn't matter how much you know. If you ain't doing nothing with it, you don't expect to get paid. Only the doers are blessed, not the knowers. Are blessed, not the knowers. Number 4 reason why leaders fail. Fear of competition from your followers. Ooh, did you see what I posted in my sidebar, everybody? Did you see what I posted in my community tab today? Did you see the meme that I typed and posted in my community tab this morning? I woke up with that thought and put it up. I put it on my Instagram and I put it in my community tab here on YouTube. Did you see that? About friends and followers and competition? Go take a look at that. Number 4, reason why leaders fail. Your fear of competition from your followers. The leader who fears that one of his followers may take his position is practically sure to realize that fear sooner or later. If you worried about that, it's going to happen. The able leader trains their understudies. They train their followers to whom he may delegate at will any of the details of his position. Only in this way may a leader multiply himself and prepare himself to be at many places and give attention to many things at one time. It is an eternal truth that men receive more pay for their ability to get others to perform than they could possibly earn by their own efforts. An efficient leader may, through his own knowledge and job of the magnetism of his personality, greatly increase the efficiency of others and induce them to render more service and better service than they ever could render without his aid. What is this saying? What do we mean by this? Far too many of you guys are keeping the information to yourself because you worried about somebody becoming your competitor or taking your position. That's not how it works. Remember, a leader is not measured by how many followers they have, but by how many leaders they can create. A leader is not measured by how many followers they have, but how many more leaders they create. You can't hold all the information. Oh man, this is secret. This is company. This is private, esoteric. This is a trade secret. This is a trade secret. I can't let nobody know. I don't want to let my staff know. I don't want to let my people that's working for me or working with me know the game. I can't give the game. I don't want to give them the game because they may take it and run. Then you ain't. Then they're sure. One, they're sure to get it, and 2, you will not last too long as a leader. People ask me about Clubhouse. Shan, how did you get your game? How did you get your followers so many? How did you get up to 18,000 followers on Clubhouse so fast? Because I went on there and I was giving game away. How did you last downtown for 7 years straight? Because I was down there giving game away when they wouldn't give me none. I don't mind people knowing everything I know. I want you guys to know everything I know. You think I'm worried about you hurting my bag? You think I'm worried about you guys hurting me? No. There's money for everybody. There's room for everybody. There's enough houses for all of us. Number 5 reason why leaders fail. Lack of imagination. Without imagination, the leader is incapable of meeting emergencies and of creating plans by which to guide his followers efficiently. Number 6 reason why leaders fail. Selfishness. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Ladies, you guys are naturally selfish. It is part of the women's nature to be selfish. You guys are not givers. You're receivers. You're takers. The problem with receiving and taking is you're supposed to take that and nurture the young and nurture your community and nurture your family. Oftentimes, you guys just give a shit about the only thing you care about is yourself. Yes, ladies, I'm coming at you. I'm coming at you, ladies. Selfishness is one of the reasons why leaders fail. The leader who claims all the honor for the work of his followers is sure to be met with resentment. The really great leader claims none of the honors. He is contented to see the honors when there are any go to his followers, because he knows that most men will work harder for commendation and recognition than they will work for money alone. He knows that most people will work harder for commendation and recognition than they will for just getting money. People need congratulations. People need a pat on the back. You can't be the only thing right in the wrong world. You can't be the only one who gets a trophy. You can't be the only one who gets a pat on the back. The number 7 reason why leaders fail is intemperance. Followers do not respect an intemperate leader. Moreover, intemperance in any of its various forms destroys the endurance and the vitality of all those who indulge in it. Number 8 reason why leaders fail: disloyalty. Perhaps this should have come at the head of this list. The leader who is not loyal to his trust and to his associates, those above him and those below him, cannot long maintain his leadership. Disloyalty marks one as being less than the dust of the earth and brings down on one's head the contempt he deserves. Lack of loyalty is one of the major causes of failure in every walk of life. In every walk of life, including relationships. Cheaters, infidelity, liars and cheaters sneaking out, doing shit you ain't got no business doing. I'm talking to you. Disloyalty marks one as being less than the dust of the earth. You ain't worth dust if you're unloyal. If you're a cheater and a liar. Keep it real and 100 with people. You cheaters, you liars, you I didn't tell you the whole truth. You people that's out there doing shit you ain't got no business doing. You what word am I looking for? Betrayers. You betray the loyalty of the people that you're supposed to be locked tight with. Number 9 reason why leaders fail: emphasis of the authority of leadership. The efficient leader leads by encouraging and not by trying to instill fear in the hearts of his followers. I'm the boss. I'm in charge. Walking around with your chest up. And you got the red vest. Everybody else got on the blue vest, and you want everybody to see your red vest. You know, you got the red lanyard while everybody else got the blue lanyard. You want everybody to know that you the boss. Get the fuck out of here with that. The leader who tries to impress his followers with his authority, quote unquote, comes within the category of leadership through force. If a leader is a real leader, he will have no need to advertise that fact except by his conduct, his sympathy, understanding, fairness, and demonstration that he knows his job. That's all. And number 10, reason why leaders fail: emphasis of title. The competent leader requires no quote unquote title, bossism, as she put, to give him the respect of his followers. The man who makes too much over his title generally has little else to emphasize. The doors to the office of the real leader are open to all who wish to enter, and his working quarters are free from formality or ostentation. These are among the more common of the causes of failure in leadership. Any one of these faults is sufficient to induce failure, study the list carefully if you aspire to leadership and make sure that you are free from these faults. Now, some fertile fields in which new leadership will be required. Before leaving this chapter, your attention is called to a few new fertile fields. This is back in 1925. So what he considered a fertile field is probably old to us. But let's read it anyway, right? Shall we? Because we can assimilate this to some of this new shit that's coming along. Cryptocurrency, you know what I'm saying? So just YouTube, online course, things like this, stuff like that, right? Before leaving this chapter, your attention is called to a few of the fertile fields in which there has been a decline of leadership and in which a new type of leader may find an abundance of opportunity. First, in the field of politics, there is a most insistent demand for new leaders, a demand which indicates nothing less than an emergency. The majority of politicians have, seemingly, become high-grade, legalized racketeers. They have increased taxes and debauched the machinery of industry and business until the people can no longer stand the burden. Second, the banking business is undergoing a reform. The leaders in this field have almost entirely lost the confidence of the public. Already the bankers have sensed the need of reform and they have begun. Third, industry calls for new leaders. Industry calls for new leaders. The old type of leaders thought and moved in terms of dividends instead of thinking and moving in terms of human equations. The future leader in industry, to endure, must regard himself as a quasi-public official whose duty it is to manage his trust in such a way that it will work hardship on no individual or group of individuals. Exploitation of working men is a thing of the past. Let the man who aspires to leadership in the field of business, industry, and labor remember this. Fourth, the religious leader. Ooh, church. We need that today, right? We need a reform in church. Y'all know how church is. You know, men don't go to church. Men don't go to church no more. We need a reform in church, right? The religious leader of the future will be forced to give more attention to the temporal needs of his followers in the solution of their economic and personal problems of the present, and less attention to the dead past and the yet unborn future. Fifth, in the professions of law and medicine and education, a new brand of leadership and to some extent new leaders will become a necessity. This is especially true in the field of education. The leader in that field must, in the future, find ways and means of teaching people how to apply the knowledge they receive in school. That's what I'm doing. He must deal more with practice and less with theory. I think he just touched on me. I'm not sure. I feel, I got a little scratch in my neck. Did somebody just tap me? I think he's talking about Shannon. Sixth, new leaders will be required in the field of journalism, news and journalism. Newspapers of the future, to be conducted successfully, must divorce from special privilege and relieved from the subsidy of advertising. They must cease to be the organs of propaganda for the interests which patronize their advertising columns. The type of newspaper which publishes scandal and lewd pictures will eventually go the way of all forces which debauch the human mind. These are but a few of the fields in which opportunities for new leaders and new brand of leadership are now available. The world is undergoing a rapid change. This means that the media through which the changes in human habits are promoted must be adapted to the changes. The media here described are the ones which, more than any others, determine the trend of civilization. When and how to apply for a position. The information described here is the net result of many years of experience during which thousands of men and women were helped to market their services effectively. It can therefore be relied upon as a sound and practical. Okay, so media through which services may be marketed. Experience has proved that the following media have offered the most direct and effective methods of bringing the buyer and the seller of personal services together. So this is important for all of you guys who have personal services, that you personally offer something. You're not selling a widget. You don't have anything to sell or offer. You're not trying to sell a sofa or you have personal service, intangibles, something that you really can't feel and touch, a service to offer somebody. This is important for you, so listen up. Experience has proved that the following media offer the most direct and effective methods of bringing the buyer and seller of personal services together. Number one, employment bureaus. Care must be taken to select only reputable bureaus, the management of which can show adequate records of achievement of satisfactory results. There are comparatively few such bureaus. Number two, advertising in newspapers, trade journals, magazines, and radio. Classified advertising may usually be relied upon to produce satisfactory results in the case of those who apply for clerical or ordinary salaried positions. Display advertising is more desirable in the case of those who seek executive connections. The copy to appear in the section of the paper which is the most apt to come to the attention of the class of employer being sought. The copy should be prepared by an expert who understands how to inject sufficient selling qualities to produce replies. Basically, you need to not only just go out there and look up, sidebar, you need to not only just go out there and look for jobs, you need to advertise yourself. You need to advertise yourself. Imagine taking out a small ad where a snippet and excerpts of your resume was put up along with a picture. And you put that next to where employers actually advertise for workers. Imagine the phone calls you'd get. Did you guys know? Do you guys, sidebar, do you remember that actress in Atlanta who took out a full billboard so Tyler Perry could see her photo to get that job? I think that billboard was $25,000. She took out that billboard to get the job. Tyler Perry saw the ad. It became viral. It went viral for a little bit. You guys remember that when she took out she had her picture up there. She had her sitting on a billboard on the highway in Florida somewhere, and everywhere, it was heading to Tyler Perry Studios. So everybody that came and gone from Tyler Perry Studios had to see her. Tyler Perry told her that's not the best way to get his attention. This was some years ago. Did you guys know that Tyler Perry just recently hired her and she has a TV show executive produced by Tyler Perry? The same woman that took out that ad that was told that wasn't the best way to get Tyler's attention, that people laughed at her, is now on a new TV show with Tyler Perry that was just announced this past summer. Even Tyler Perry said that wasn't the best thing to do, yet Tyler Perry still put her on the show. Boom. Number three, personal letters of application directed to particular firms or individuals must apt to need such services as being offered. Letters should always be neatly typed and signed by hand. With the letter should be sent a complete brief or outline of the applicant's qualifications. Both the letter of application and the brief of experience or qualifications should be prepared by an expert. This is basically your resume. Resumes wasn't big in 1925. Sending a resume to get a job wasn't a big thing in 1925. It wasn't. That's not how you really got your job. Number four, application through personal acquaintances, hookups, plugs. When possible, the applicant should endeavor to approach prospective employers through some mutual acquaintance. This method of approach is particularly advantageous in the case of those who seek executive connections and do not wish to appear to be peddling themselves. Sidebar. I told you guys a story on why I moved to Beverly Hills from Hawthorne, right? If I didn't, I'll tell it later. It's going to be on a member show. Who do you hang around? Like, you want this great job. Listen, guys, I know you guys, you want this great job and you want this, but where do you go to happy hour? Where do you go on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings to just have a drink and sit at the bar and chat with people? Are you in the hood where you're comfortable, where your homies are? Are you with your girls and shit? Or are you with complete strangers downtown at the Bonaventure Hotel, in the bar, at the bar in the lobby? Are you at the Beverly Hills Hotel, sitting at the bar ordering drinks for a couple hours just to see who's there? Just to interject yourself into a conversation of people who's there? Are you at the W Hotel in West Hollywood? Where are you hanging out? Are you positioning yourself to be around and meet people who can put you in the position that you need to be, or at least put you in the position so you can knock it out the park? Far too often, you guys always talk about what you want. You talk about how you want to succeed and how great you want to be and how wonderful of a position you want to have. But then you don't even do the work, and it's not even hard work. It's not even tough to sit around and go and carve out 2 or 3 evenings a week to go put yourself in the position of people who are successful like you wish to be. I'm not telling you to bogart into these private, I ain't saying go to Soho House. You're not invited into Soho House without a membership. You can't go in there. But there's many other places that you can go and hang out and fraternize and socialize and get to know people outside of the fucking people in your apartment building. Outside of the people at you. That's why I tell people to go to the gym. Do you know the mindset of the person that attends a gym is the person that is placing their personal health on a high pedestal? That is the kind of which leads to mean that they place everything else in life on a high pedestal. Those are the people you want to hang around. But you guys are sitting around on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram hoping that success is going to come knocking your door down. That's not how it works. Success ain't coming to you. You got to go get it. And if you don't know how to do it, go find some friends that can help you. Personal acquaintances. But you can only get the personal acquaintances on the level that I'm talking about is if you get your ass dressed and go out your house. Leave your living room. Number 5, application in person. In some instances, it may be more effective if the applicant offers personally his services to prospective employers, in which event a complete written statement of qualifications for the position should be presented, for the reason that prospective employers often wish to discuss with associates one's record. Basically, pull up to the job and be able to talk your shit. You'll have to be able to speak to whatever it is. That's what I used to tell all of my employees. You have to speak to it. You can't, I'll listen to what you have to offer or what change you want to make outside of our planogram or anything else that you want to do, but you have to speak to it. Speak to it. And if you can't articulate it well to me, it's probably going to go in one ear and out the other. Information should be supplied in a written brief. This is basically your resume, but we'll run through it really quick. I'm going to read this really fast, you guys. This brief should be prepared as carefully as a lawyer would prepare the brief of a case to be tried in court. Unless the applicant is experienced in the preparation of such briefs, an expert should be consulted and their services enlisted for this purpose. Successful merchants employ men and women who understand the art of the psychology of advertising to present their merits of the merchandise. One who has personal services for sale should do the same. The following information should appear in your quote-unquote resume. He calls it a brief in 1925, but he's talking about a resume. Education. State briefly, but definitely what schooling you've had and in what subjects you specialize in school, giving the reasons for that specialization. 2, experience. If you have had any experience in connection with the position similar to the one you seek, describe it fully, state names and addresses of former employees. Be sure to bring out clearly any special experience you may have had which would equip you to fill the position you seek. 3, references. Practically every business firm desires to know all about the previous records, antecedents, etc. of prospective employees who seek positions of responsibility. Attached to your brief, photostatic copies of letters. Photostatic, that's a copy. Copies of letters from 1, former employers. B, A, former employers. B, teachers under whom you studied. C, prominent people whose judgment may be relied upon. Number 4, a photograph of yourself. Attached to your brief, a recent unmounted photograph of yourself. And 5, apply for a specific position. Avoid application for a position without describing exactly the particular position that you seek. Never apply for, I just want a position. That indicates you lack specialized qualifications. Number 6, state your qualifications for the particular position for which you apply. Give full details as to the reason you believe you are qualified for the particular position you seek. This is the application. It will determine more than anything else what consideration you receive. 7, offer to go to work on probation. Ooh, here we go. Listen to this one, guys. This is going to rub a few of you guys wrong. This is why a lot of you guys is going to stay broke. Offer to go to work on probation. This is basically internship. In the majority of instances, if you are determined to have the position for which you apply, it will be most effective if you offer to work for a week or a month or a sufficient length of time to enable your prospective employer to judge without any pay. They want to judge your value without any pay. This may appear to be a radical suggestion, but experience has proved that it seldomly fails to win. That it seldom fails to win at least a trial at that position. If you are sure of your qualifications, quote, if you are sure of your qualifications, a trial is all you need, right? You just need it. Just give me an opportunity to show you what I can do. Shit. Incidentally, such an offer indicates that you have the confidence in yourself. You have the confidence in yourself, in your ability to fill the position that you seek. It is most convincing if your offer is accepted and you make good, more than likely you will be paid for your probation period. Make clear the fact that your offer is based upon A, your confidence in your ability to fill the actual position. B, your confidence in prospective employers' decision to employ you after the trial. And C, your determination to have the position that you seek. And number 8, knowledge of your prospective employer's business. Before applying for a position, do sufficient research in connection with the business to familiarize yourself thoroughly with that business and indicate in your brief the knowledge that you have acquired in this field. This will be impressive, as it will indicate that you have imagination and a real interest in the position that you seek. Remember that it is not the lawyer who knows the most law, but the one who best prepares his case who wins. If your case is properly prepared and presented, your victory will have been more than half won at the outset. Do not be afraid of making your brief too long. Employers are just as much interested in purchasing the services of well-qualified applicants as you are interested in securing employment. In fact, the success of most successful employers is due to in the main, to their ability to select well-qualified lieutenants. They want all the information about you available. Don't be like, oh man, my resume's too long. Oh, I got too much. I'm overqualified. Well, you're shooting for a position that's going to pay you well. Then don't worry about being overqualified. Remember another thing. Neatness in the preparation of your resume will indicate that you are a painstaking person. I have helped to prepare briefs for clients which were so striking and out of the ordinary that they resulted in the employment of the applicant without a personal interview. When your brief has been completed, have it neatly bound by an experienced binder and lettered by an artist or printer similar to the following. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, brief of the qualification of Robert K. Smith applying for the position of the private secretary of the president of the blank company, incorporated. Change the names of each brief as shown. This personal touch is sure to command attention. Have your brief neatly typed and mimeographed on the finest paper you can obtain and bound with the heavy paper of the book cover variety, the binder to be changed, and the proper firm name to be inserted if it is to be shown to more than one company. Your photograph should be pasted on one of the pages of your brief, following these instructions to the letter, improving upon them whenever your imagination suggests. Successful salesmen groom themselves with care. Successful salesmen groom themselves with care. They understand that first impressions are lasting. Your brief is your salesman. Give it a good suit of clothes so it will stand out in bold contrast to anything your prospective employer ever saw in the way of an application for a position. If the position you seek is worth having, it is worth going after with care. Moreover, if you sell yourself to an employer in a manner that impresses him with your individuality, you will probably receive more money for your services from the very start than you would have applied for employment in the usual conventional way. If you seek employment through an advertising agency or employment agency, have the agent use copies of your brief in marketing your services. This will help to gain preference for you, both the agent and the prospective employers. How to get the exact position you desire. Let's read about that. What up, Ace? I see Ace is in the house. Shout out to my man. All right, let's continue. How to get the exact position you desire. Everyone enjoys doing the kind of work for which he is best suited. An artist loves to work with paints. A craftsman loves to work with his hands. A writer loves to write. Those with less definite talents have their preferences for certain fields of business and industry. If America does anything well, it offers a full range of occupants, tiling the soil, manufacturing, marketing, and professions. First, decide exactly what kind of job you want. If the job doesn't already exist, perhaps you can create it. Second, choose the company or individual for whom you wish to work. Third, study your prospective employer as to the policies, personnel, and chances of advancement. Fourth, by analysis of yourself, your talent, and capabilities, figure out what you can offer and plan ways and means of giving advantages, services, developments, ideas that you believe you can successfully deliver. Fifth, forget about a job. Forget whether or not there is an opening. Forget the usual routine of, have you got a job for me? Concentrate on what you can give. Sixth, once you have your plan in mind, arrange with an experienced writer to put it on paper in neat form and in full detail. Seventh, present it to the proper person with authority, and he will do the rest. Every company, including Rawls Enterprises, is looking for men and women who can give something of value, whether it be ideas, services, or connections. Every company, including Rawls Enterprises, has room for the man or woman who has definite plans of action, which is to the advantage of that company. This line of procedure may take a few days or weeks of extra time, but the difference in income, in advancement, in gaining recognition will save years of hard work at small pay. It has many advantages, the main one being that it will often save from 1 to 5 years of time in reaching a chosen goal. Every single person who starts or gets in halfway up the ladder does so by deliberate and careful planning, excepting, of course, the boss's son. The new way of marketing services jobs are now partnerships. Jobs are no longer jobs, they're partnerships. Men and women who market their services to best advantage in the future must recognize the stupendous change which has taken place in connection with the relationship between employer and employee. In the future, the golden rule, and not the rule of gold, will be the dominating factor in the marketing of merchandise as well as personal services. The future relationship between employers and their employees will be more in the nature of partnerships consisting of A, the employer, B, the employee, C, the public that they serve. This new way of marketing personal services is called for many reasons. First, both the employer and the employee of the future will be considered as fellow employees whose business it will be to serve the public efficiently. Back in the past, employers and employees have bartered amongst themselves, driving the best bargains they could with one another, not considering that in the final analysis they were in reality bargaining at the expense of the third party, the actual public that they served. The Great Depression served as a mighty protest from an injured public whose rights had been trampled upon in every direction by those who were clamoring for individual advantages and profits. When the debris of the Great Depression shall have been cleared away, and businesses shall have been once again restored to balance, both employers and employees will recognize that they are no longer privileged to drive bargains at the expense of those whom they serve. The real employer of the future will be the public. This should be kept uppermost in mind by every person seeking to market personal services effectively. Nearly every railroad in the United States of America is in financial difficulty. Who does not remember the day when, if a citizen inquired at the ticket office the time of departure of a train, he was abruptly referred to the bulletin board instead of being politely given the information? I can imagine those days, man. You know, imagine when everybody rode by train. This is sidebar. When everybody, travel by train, and then you go up to the office and you wanted to know, you're like, when's the next train coming to San Francisco? And the man behind the counter at the newspaper, just go read the bulletin board. And it continue reading like no customer service needed. Didn't give a fuck how you felt. Just pointed you to the board and said, don't you know how to read? Don't ask me no damn questions. Them days is over. The streetcar companies have been experiencing a change of times. Also, there was a time not so very long ago when streetcar conductors took pride in giving arguments to passengers. Many of the streetcar tracks have been removed and passengers ride on a bus whose driver is the last word in politeness. All over the country, streetcar tracks are rusting from abandonment or have been taken up. Wherever streetcars are still in operation, passengers may now ride without an argument, and one may even hail the car in the middle of the block. They can stop the streetcar in the middle of the block instead of getting left. And the motorman will obligingly pick him up. Yeah. How times have changed. That is just the point. Alexa, lower the volume to 1. How times have changed. That is just the point I'm trying to emphasize. Times have changed. Moreover, the change is reflected not merely in railroad offices and on streetcars, but in other walks of life as well. The public be damned policy is now passé. It has been supplanted by the "we are obligingly at your service, sir" policy. The bankers have learned a thing or two during this rapid change, which has taken place during the past few years. Impoliteness on the part of a bank official or bank employee today is rare as it was conspicuous in a dozen years ago. In the years past, some bankers, not all of them, of course, carried an atmosphere of austerity, which gave every would-be borrower a chill whenever he thought of approaching his banker for a loan. Boy, people would be scared to go into the bank and ask for a loan. The banker would be like, just talking shit. Like, what do you want? Like, what are you here for? Type shit. It's crazy, right? The thousands of bank failures during the Depression had the effect of removing the mahogany doors behind which bankers formerly barricaded themselves. They now sit at the front desk in the open, where they may be seen and approached at will by any depositor or anyone who wishes to see them. And the whole atmosphere of the bank is one of courtesy and understanding. It used to be customary for customers to have to stand and wait at the corner of the grocery store until the clerk were through passing the time of day with their friends and proprietor had finished making up his bank deposit before being waited upon. Chain stores managed by courteous men who do everything in their way of service short of shining the customer's shoes has pushed the old-time merchants into the background. Time marches on. Courtesy and service are watchwords of merchandising today. Courtesy and service are watchwords of merchandising today, and apply to the person who's marketing personal services even more directly than to the employer whom he serves, because in final analysis, both the employer and the employee are employed by the public now that they serve. If they fail to serve well, they pay by the loss of privilege of serving. We can all remember the time when the gas meter reader pounded on the door hard enough to break the panel on your car. When the door was open, he pushed his way in, uninvited, with a scowl on his face, which plainly said, well, what the hell did you keep me waiting for? All that has undergone a change. The meter man now conducts himself as a gentleman who is delighted to be at your service. Before the gas companies learned that the scowling meter men were accumulating liabilities never to be cleared away, the polite salesmen of oil burners came along and did a land of office businesses. During the Depression, I spent several months in the anthracite coal region of Pennsylvania, studying conditions which all but destroyed the coal industry. Among several very significant discoveries was the fact that greed on the part of operators and their employees was the chief cause of the loss of business for the operators and loss of jobs for the miners. Through the pressure of a group of overzealous labor leaders representing the employees and the greed for profits on the part of the operators, the anthracite business suddenly dwindled. The coal operators and their employees drove sharp bargains with one another, adding the cost of the bargaining to the price of the coal, until finally they discovered they had built upon a wonderful business for the manufacturing of oil burning outfits and the producers of crude oil. The wages of sin is death. Many have read this in the Bible, but few have discovered its meaning. Now, and for several years, the entire world has been listening by force to a sermon which might well be called, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Nothing as widespread and effective as the Great Depression of the 20s, could possibly be just a coincidence. Behind the Depression was a cause. Nothing ever happens without a cause, you guys. In the main, the cause of the Depression is traceable directly to the worldwide habit of trying to reap without sowing. People trying to get something for nothing. Sounds like Bitcoin. This should not be mistaken to mean that the Depression represents a crop which the world is being forced to reap without having sown. The trouble is that the world sowed the wrong sort of seed. Any farmer knows he cannot sow the seed of thistles and reap a harvest of grain. Beginning at the outbreak of the World War, the people of the world began to sow the seed of service inadequate in both quality and quantity. Nearly everyone was engaging in the pastimes of trying to get without giving. These illustrations are brought to the attention of those who have personal services to market to show that we are where we are and what we are because of our own conduct. If there is a principle of cause and effect which controls business, finance, and transportation, the same principle controls individuals and determines their economic status. What is your QQS rating? What is your QQS rating? RG is here. Salute to RG. My man, salute to Jonathan. Oh, salute to Jonathan. Jonathan is here. What up, Jay? All my friends is pulling up. Let me finish. This is a long chapter, but we're almost done now. What is your QQS rating? The cause of success in marketing services effectively and permanently have been clearly described. Unless those causes are studied, analyzed, understood, and applied, no man or woman can market their services effectively and permanently. Every person must be their own salesman of personal services. The quality and the quantity of service rendered and the spirit in which it is rendered determine to a large extent the price and the duration of employment. To market personal services effectively, which means a permanent marker to a satisfactory price under pleasant conditions, one must adopt and follow the Qqs formula, which means that quality plus quantity plus the proper spirit of cooperation equals perfect salesmanship of service. Remember the Qqs formula, but do more than just apply it as a habit. Let's analyze the formula to make sure we understood exactly what it means. So let's talk about, remember, QQS is quality, quantity, and spirit. You have to have all three. Quality plus quantity plus spirit. Let's talk about each one. Number one, quality. Quality of service shall be construed to mean the performance of every detail in connection with your position in the most efficient manner possible, with the object of greater efficiency always in mind. I'm a stickler on details. Ask my employees. When I'm yelling, not yelling, but when I'm mad at my employees, I probably do be yelling. Not often, but when I get mad at my employees for doing something, it's usually because they didn't pay attention to detail. And what really makes me upset is that you've been here long enough that you should, you're making rookie mistakes. I don't like it when somebody that works for me is making rookie mistakes, but it's simply because they don't give a shit. So attention to detail, quality actually matters to me, Shannon. Quantity of service shall be understood to mean the habit of rendering all the service of which you are capable at all times, with the purpose of increasing the amount of service rendered as greater skill is developed through practice and experience. Emphasis is again placed on the word habit and spirit. Number 3, spirit of service shall be construed to mean the habit of agreeable, harmonious conduct, which will induce cooperation from associates and fellow employees. Adequacy of quality and quantity of service is not sufficient to maintain a permanent marker for your services. The conduct or the spirit in which you deliver services is a strong determining factor in connection with both the price you receive, how much money you get, and the duration of the employment, how long you're going to be getting that money. Andrew Carnegie stressed this point more than others in connection with his description of the factors which led to success in the marketing of personal services. He emphasized again and again the necessity for harmonious conduct. He stressed the fact that he would not retain any person, no matter how great a quantity, or how efficient the quality of their work, unless he worked in a spirit of harmony. Mr. Carnegie insisted upon men being agreeable. Basically, Andrew Carnegie didn't give a shit how smart you were. He didn't care how much of attention to detail you were, how excellent of quality your work was. He didn't care how much you produced. You produced a whole lot. You were just out producing everybody else. Andrew Carnegie didn't care that you were smart and you were a worker bee and you produced a lot and that you did really great work. If you didn't get along with everybody, you couldn't be there. At my store downtown, I have the sign at the front. It says, "No assholes past this point." It's for all customers to read. At my store downtown in the fashion district, in my storefront, when you first walk in, you walk past the red carpets and the red ropes. There's a sign up on the right-hand side. and it's right at the front, right? You only got like 5 feet before you can come all the way in my store. It says, no assholes past this point. I don't give a fuck how much money you got, how much you come to spend, how much money, you can't come in here dogging out my sales associate. You can't come in here with an attitude. No divas allowed. No assholes past this point. You had to stay out my store if you were an asshole. As a customer, you had to stay outside my store. So you damn sure had to come in as an employee with a great attitude. Andrew Carnegie said, I don't care how smart you are or how much you produce. If you are not harmonious with everybody around here, you can't be part of the crew. Shout out to Andrew Carnegie. Shannon adopted that same ideology. To prove that he placed a high value upon this quality, he permitted many men who conformed to his standard to become very wealthy. Those who did not conform had to make room for others. The importance of a pleasing personality has been stressed because it is a factor which enables one to render service in the proper spirit. If one has a personality which pleases and renders service in a spirit of harmony, these assets often make up for the deficiencies in both quality and the quantity of service one renders. Nothing, however, can be successfully substituted for pleasing conduct. The capital value of your services. The person whose income is derived entirely from the sale of personal services is no less a merchant than the man who sells commodities. And it might well be added, such a person is subject to exactly the same rules of conduct as the merchant who sells merchandise. This has been emphasized because the majority of people who live by the sale of personal services make the mistake of considering themselves free from the rules of conduct and the responsibilities attached to those who are engaged in marketing commodities. The new way of marketing services have been practically forced has practically forced both the employer and employee into a partnership alliance through which both take into consideration the rights of the third party, the customer, the public they serve. The day of the go-getter has passed by. He has been supplanted by the go-giver. The high-pressure methods in business finally blew the lid off. There will never be the need to put the lid back on because in the future, business will be conducted by methods that will require no pressure. The actual capital value of your brain may be determined by the amounts of income you can produce by marketing your services. A fair estimate of the capital of your services may be made by multiplying your annual income by 16 2/3, and as it is reasonable to estimate that your annual income represents 6% of your capital value. Money rents for 6% per annum. Money is worth no more than brains. It is often worth much less. Competent brains, if effectively marketed, represent a much more desirable form of capital than that which is required to conduct business dealing in commodities, because brains are a form of capital which cannot be permanently depreciated through depressions, nor can this form of capital be stolen or spent. Nobody can steal your brains. Nobody can spend your brains in information. Moreover, the money which is essential for the conduct of business is worthless as a sand dune until it has been mixed with efficient brains. The 30 major causes of failure, how many of these are holding you back? Life's greatest tragedy. Hold on, you guys. Let me drink some BCAAs. I hope everybody took their vitamins this morning. If you didn't take your vitamins, this is a vitamin break. Run to the kitchen or run to the bathroom, grab your multivitamins real quick. Take your multivitamin for Monday. Today's the perfect time. The first of the month is in 2 days. This is the perfect time to make sure you start taking multivitamins. Every human adult being in America should be taking a multivitamin every day for the rest of their life. So let me grab some of that. That's better than Kool-Aid, man. It's cherry limeade. Whoever knew drinking something so healthy could be so good? cherry limeade, BCAAs. No sugar. Yeah, a vitamin break, Jonathan. All right, you guys, you ready? Let's continue. The 30 major causes of failure. How many of these are holding you back? Life's greatest tragedy consists of men and women who earnestly try and fail. The tragedy lies in the overwhelmingly large majority of people who fail as compared to the few who succeed. I have had the privilege of analyzing several thousand men and women, 98% of whom were classed as failures. There is something... Hold on. Oh, man, my iPad died. Hold on. I got to minimize this window. All right. There is something radically wrong with a civilization and a system of education which permits 98% of the people to go through life as a failure. But I did not write this book for the purpose of moralizing on the rights and wrongs of the world. That would require a book 100 times the size of this one. My analysis work proved that there are 30 major reasons for failure and 13 major principles through which people accumulate fortunes. In this chapter, a description of the 30 major causes of failure will be given. As you go over the list, check yourself by it, point by point, for the purpose of discovering how many of these causes of failure stand between you and your success. All right, guys, listen up. I'm about to run off 30 reasons. Sidebar, everybody, pay attention. I'm about to run off 30 reasons why people fail. Here's the thing, and this is where it's important. Far too many people are not honest with others, right? They lie to other people because image is everything to people. I don't want to look bad. I don't want nobody, considering me a failure. I don't want to look like I'm a loser. I get it. Many people lie to others to save face. But goddamn, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself, man. There's only two people that's listening, you and God. There's only two people that's listening, you and God. And if you really intend to do better, like for the members that watch the raw wisdom, how do I end that with? I say, this is Mr. Shannon giving you a nugget of raw wisdom to help you do better and be better. This is Mr. Shannon give you a nugget of raw wisdom to help you do better and be better. Now, if you really intend to do better and be better, you have to be truthful with yourself. You ain't got to be truthful with me. You don't got to be truthful with your mama. You don't got to tell the truth to your wife. You ain't got to tell the truth to your husband. You don't got to tell your homies the truth. You don't got to, fuck that. But if you don't tell yourself the truth, you're doomed for failure for the rest of your life. You might as well not even read the rest of this book. You might as well not even read the rest of your book. Don't lie to yourself. Lie to other people if that's what you do. I don't, but if that's your thing, but don't lie to yourself. Now here, I'm going to read off these 30 things. If you detect one of them or many of them in yourself, and when you hear it, if it's true, write it down. Because this is where you can do some self-improvement. All right. This is you giving yourself some therapy. You're getting ready to go to your own therapy session and you are the therapist. All right. What do they say in AA class and Alcoholics Anonymous? What's the main motto? The first step to recovery is admitting that you're an alcoholic. The first step to a recovering alcoholic is to admit that they are one. All right, here we go. Number 1. Unfavorable hereditary background. There is little, if anything, which can be done for people who are born with a deficiency in brain power. This philosophy often offers but one method of bridging this weakness through the aid of the mastermind. Observe with profit, however, that this is the only of the 30 causes of failure which may be easily corrected by which may not be easily corrected by any individual. It is not your fault if your IQ is 50. It's not your fault if your IQ is 50. The last time I took an IQ test, I scored a 145. I was one step away from genius. They considered me a high intellect. You had to be 150. On the test that I took, you had to be 150 to be considered a genius. I hit 145. So my IQ is 145. But that's not because I just studied a lot. That's just a genetic blessing. It is not your fault if you have an IQ of 50. It's not your fault. This is the one of these 30 things that you may not easily correct, but you can work on it. And that's why it's mentioned as number 1. All right, let's go. Number 2, lack of a well-defined purpose in life. Is this you? There is no hope of success for the person who does not have a central purpose or definite goal at which to aim. 98% out of every 100 of those people I have analyzed had no such aim. Perhaps this was the number 3. Lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. Is this you? Are you cool and content with being average? We offer no hope for the person who is so indifferent as to not want to get ahead in life and who is not willing to pay the price. If you are cool with being average, say so. You ain't got to tell it to me. I know you want to tell everybody you want to win, but if you really are cool with just being average, fucking say so. Number 4, insufficient education. This is a handicap which may be overcome with comparative ease. Experience has proven that the best educated people are often those who are known as self-made or self-educated. It takes more than a college degree to make one a person of education. Any person who is educated is one who has learned to get whatever he wants in life without violating the rights of others. Education consists not so much of knowledge, but of knowledge effectively and persistently applied. Men are paid not merely for what they know, but more particularly for what they do with that which they know. Number 5, is this you? Lack of self-discipline. I wish I could zoom in. I should get my remote so I could zoom in. Lack of self-discipline. Discipline comes through self-control. This means that one must control all negative qualities. Before you can control conditions, you must first control yourself. Self-mastery is the hardest job you will ever tackle. There's a certain woman that I wish I wish she could hear this right now. There's a certain woman right now, I wish she could hear this. I wish she could hear me say this right now. You must first control yourself. Self-mastery is the hardest job you will ever tackle. If you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. You may see at one and the same time both your best friend and your greatest enemy by stepping in front of a mirror. You may see at one and the same time both your best friend and your worst enemy if you just look in the mirror. Hold on one second. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got 24 more. If you identify with one of these things, privately, write it down. Ill health, number 6. No person may enjoy outstanding success without good health. Many of the causes of ill health are subject to mastery and control. These in the main are overeating of foods not conducive to health. Y'all think I just be talking. Y'all think I started this YouTube channel just because I just don't know what the fuck. You think I'm 49 years old and I don't know and I've gotten all I've gotten and because I don't know because it was by happenstance or accident? B, wrong habits of thought, giving expressions to negative. C, wrong use of and overindulgence of sex. Men, control your seed. Dick discipline. D, lack of proper physical exercise. E, an inadequate supply of fresh air due to improper breathing. Do you get outside or are you in the house and in the office all day long? Do you walk? Do you jog? Do you go for a stroll in your neighborhood? Let's keep going. Unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're reading, for those that don't know, we are reading the 30 major causes of failure. The 30 major causes of failure. If you recognize any of these, write it down so we can work on it together. I'm here to work on it with you. Number 7, unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. Gangbanging. Growing up around a bunch of negative people. All my mamas and aunties and grandmas was just negative and masculine and hated men. All the homies was killers and robbers, drug dealers. The hood. As the twig is bent, so shall the tree grow. Most people who have a criminal tendencies acquire them as a result of bad environment and improper associates during childhood. Write it down, you guys, if this is you, if you can identify. Number 8, procrastination. This is one of the most common causes of failure. Old man procrastination stands within the shadow of every human being, waiting his opportunity to spoil one's chance of success. Most of us go through life as failures because we are waiting for the time to be right to start doing something worthwhile. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. Build the airplane as you fly. Build the airplane as you fly. Come on, you guys. Procrastination. Goodness. Number 9, lack of persistence. Most of us are good starters, but poor finishers of everything we begin. Moreover, people are prone to give up at the first signs of defeat. There is no substitute for persistence. There's no substitute for persistence. The person who makes persistence his watchword discovers that old man failure finally becomes tired and makes his departure. Failure cannot cope with persistence. Number 10, a negative fucking personality. Listen, these 30 things you might want to read to some of your friends. They don't got to read the whole book. We already know they're not coming to the whole book. But we may need to read these 30 things to some of your friends. These are the 30 major causes of failure. These are the 30 major causes of failure. How many of these are holding you back? Are you keeping it 100 with yourself? Number 10, a negative personality. There is no hope of success for the person who repels people through a negative personality. Success comes through the application of power, and power is attained through the cooperative efforts of other people. A negative personality will not induce cooperation. Debbie Downers, haters, always got some shit to say people, get rid of them. Ladies and gentlemen, get rid of those negative fuckers in your life. And if you're the negative person, and you know if you are, because you've been told that all along for so long, it's time for a change. It's time for a change. Positivity. Number 11, reason for failure in most people: lack of controlled sexual urge. Men, fellas, I'm talking to you. Gentlemen, I'm speaking to you right now. Lack of controlled sexual urge. Sex energy is the most powerful of all stimuli which move people into action. Because it is the most powerful of the emotions, it must be controlled through transmutation and converted into other channels. Fellas, do you have some dick discipline, or are you out there smashing and dashing and jacking off and fapping and on Pornhub? And fellas, come on. Write it down if it's you. You know if it's you. You ain't got to tell the world. You ain't got to tell your friends. You ain't got to tell your family. Write it down. Tell yourself the truth, though. 30 reasons for most people. 30 reasons why most people fail. Number 12, uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. The gambling instinct drives millions of people to failure. Evidence of this may be found in a study of the Wall Street crash of 1929, during which millions of people tried to make money by gambling on stock margins. Listen, everybody wants something for nothing. Oh, I need that Doge coin. Give me that Doge coin. Give me that Shibe. Give me that Shibe. I got 10 million Shibe for $10. I can't wait till it blow. You know what I'm talking to. How many of y'all play the lottery or know somebody that plays the lottery religiously? Something for nothing. Number 13 reason why people fail: lack of well-defined power of decision. Men who succeed reach decisions promptly and change them, if at all, very slow. Men who fail reach decisions, if at all, very slowly and change them frequently and quickly. Indecision and procrastination are twin brothers. Where one is found, the other may usually be found also. Kill off this pair before they completely hogtie you to the treadmill of failure. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you guys, we call it analysis paralysis. That's what we call it. We call it analysis paralysis. How many of you guys are just not really sure? You got to have everything right. I'm not really sure if I should, I'm not, fuck, man. I'm thinking about, but I need to, okay, I'm going to wait till the first of the month. And then I'm going to get this done right. And I got to get this paper. Oh, okay, let's redo it. Oh, my logo ain't right. The logo's not, okay, let me start this. And then you take all this goddamn time to get started. And then as soon as you lose $5, you quick to change everything. That ain't how winners work. I don't work that way, and I don't teach people to work that way. No, we get busy right away. We make decisions quick. And when we change, it takes us forever to make a change. Number 14 reason why people fail: one or more of the 6 basic fears. These fears have been analyzed for you in a later chapter. They must be mastered before you can market your services effectively. Okay. Number 15, wrong selection of a mate in marriage. Oh, did he go there with it? Did he go there with it in 19? He wrote this book. This book was released in 1938. Did he go there with it? Did he say the wrong selection of a mate in marriage? Fellas, how many times have I been I've been preaching this to people on Facebook and Instagram for over a decade. The woman in which you select, your success or failure largely depends on the woman you pick. Gentlemen, since I charge you with providing and protecting for your household, that's why this statement is for you. I'm absolving women of this because I don't expect women to provide and protect. I expect men to provide and protect. So men, I'm talking to you. Your success or failure largely depends upon the woman in which you select. Sorry. Number 15, wrong selection of mate in marriage. This is most common cause of failure. This is the most common cause of failure. The relationship of marriage brings people intimately into contact. Unless this relationship is harmonious, failure is likely to follow. Moreover, it will be a form of failure that is marked by misery and unhappiness, destroying all signs of ambition. You know how many people cannot recover from a fucked up relationship, divorce, or breakup? They are infinitely doomed. They are driven into 0% ambition to do anything of mean and just live a life of mediocrity. And they're just basically already dead, waiting to be buried. Number 16, overcaution. Everybody's worried. You worry too much. Number 16 reason for common causes of failure. The person who takes no chances generally has to take whatever is left when the others are through choosing. You get the leftovers. Overcaution is as bad as undercaution. Both are extremes to be guarded against. Life itself is filled with the elements of chance. I hope you guys are writing down the things that you can recognize in yourselves. 30 reasons of failure. Number 17, wrong selection of associates in business. This is almost as bad as marriage. This is one of the most common causes of failure in business. In marketing personal services, one should use great care to select an employer who will be an inspiration and who is themselves intelligent and successful. We emulate those whom we associate most closely. Pick an employer who is worth emulating. I hope to be a beacon of light to all my employees and the people that work for me. I try to be a shining example of an amazing motherfucker. I just do. You know, to everybody that is around me and everybody that works for me in business. Number 18, superstition and prejudice. Superstition is a form of fear. It is also a sign of ignorance. Men who succeed keep open minds and are afraid of nothing. Number 19, wrong selection of vocation. You didn't pick the wrong damn job. Ladies, I'm on you. All you ladies that's good, that's highly educated and super enrolled in college, taking on basket weaving as a bachelor's degree. All these social studies classes and bullshit that you can't get paid for. Ladies, I'm talking to you. Wrong selection of vocation. No man or woman can succeed in a line of endeavor which they do not like. The most essential step in the marketing of personal services is that of selecting an occupation into which you can throw yourself wholeheartedly. Don't do a job that you hate simply because you heard you can get paid. Number 20, lack of concentration of effort. The jack of all trades is seldom good at any. I used to teach to be a jack of all trades. I learned the hard way that was a mistake. I used to teach that shit 20 years ago. Oh man, learn a little bit about everything, blah, blah, blah. Right now you hear people, oh man, you need seven forms of income. You need 7 ways to get it, but you need seven different ways. That is bad advice. You know who's telling you that? And I'm gonna do a class on it. God damn, there's so many classes I want to give you guys. There's so much stuff I have to teach. People come down on, Shan, what you mean don't diversify? What do you mean don't diversify? Don't do 7 different things. What do you mean don't spread myself in? Because you need 7 forms of income. You need money coming from over here and over here and over here and over here. I say, who told you that? And everybody that told them that, and I challenge you guys to correct me, because nobody's been able to do it for the last 10 years. Everybody that tells you that made their wealth doing one and only one, and concentrated on one, and then went out and did the other 6 things. I like to use Sean Diddy Combs as an example, and I don't want to get too deep into this because I need to save this for a show. Sean has Blue Flame Marketing. Sean has Sean John. He has Ciroc. He has Bad Boy Entertainment. He has Revolt TV. He has all these different things. He has even more than that some of you guys don't know. There's Combs Enterprises. He didn't have none of that shit until he made sure Bad Boy Records put him on the map. But everybody looks at Sean at the end result and say, look at him. He's getting his money. So you go out there broke as a motherfucker with no money, living check to check, still living, and you could barely pay your rent. Talking about I need 7 forms of income. You hearing that shit from people who made their money one way. I used to teach jack of all trades. Now I learned it was a mistake. It was a mistake for myself. I should have concentrated on one, but that's going to be for another show. So I don't want to derail it because I'll get to talking for 2 goddamn hours. Lack of concentration of effort. The jack of all trades seldom is good at any. Concentrate all of your efforts on one definite chief aim. The habit of indiscriminate spending. Number 21. The spendthrift cannot succeed, mainly because he stands eternally in fear of poverty. Form the habit of systemic savings by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. Money in the bank gives one of a very safe foundation of courage when bargaining for the sale of personal services. Without money, one must take what one is offered and be glad to get it. Number 22, lack of enthusiasm. Lack of enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be convincing. Moreover, enthusiasm is contagious, and the person who has it under control is generally welcome in any group of people. Are you boring as boring as watching paint dry? Are you as boring as a rock? No enthusiasm, no excitement, no vigor in anything that you do. Everything is just, you're just lackluster and lukewarm. This is 30 reasons why people fail. Listen to me, you guys. I want you to write down if this is you. Keep it real. Number 23, intolerance. The person with a closed mind on any subject seldom gets ahead. Intolerance means that one has stopped acquiring knowledge. The most damaging forms of intolerance are those connected with religious, racial, and political differences of opinion. Some people want to just be in a echo chamber and around other people who do nothing else but mimic and regurgitate the same talking points. They're not interested in listening to the other side. They don't want to hear anybody else's opposing views. People that watch CNN people that love MSNBC don't even tune in to Fox News. They don't give a fuck about what Fox News is saying. Those at Fox News don't want to hear nothing that anybody from MSNBC is saying. And all of them motherfuckers is failures. The smart person listens to Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, and every other NPR. They tap into all the opposing views. They listen to the people that they believe in. They listen to all of it so they can learn and become better. They are not intolerant, but intolerance is one reason why a lot of people fail. Number 24 reason why people fail: intemperance. The most damaging forms of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities. And overindulgence in any of these is fatal to success. If you're addicted to anything, you guys, don't expect success. If you have to smoke some weed, you got to roll a blunt. You can't concentrate without fucking having drinks and shit. You got to come to work drunk. You don't expect success. You're going to be failure. You just relegate yourself to failure. Number 25 reasons why people fail: inability to cooperate with others. More people lose their position at their big opportunities in life because of this fault. This is the reason why a lot of people lose their relationships too. Because of this fault than any other reason combined. Ooh. It is a fault which no well-informed businessman or leader will tolerate. That's right, Joanna. Hey, Joanna. Joanna says she's excited every day. Shout out to Joanna. And you know that's contagious. Joanna says she's excited every day. The people that probably hang around Joanna, that shit rubs off on them because that shit is like pixie dust. Excitement and people who are happy and shit, that shit is fucking contagious. And you want to get infected with that kind of stuff. I want infection of happiness and glee and joy. Shout out to Joanna. But number 25, the inability to cooperate with others. This is a problem with a lot of people in relationships. This is why a lot of your fucking relationships fail, isn't it, you guys? Write it down. Your inability to cooperate with others, because it's all about you. You don't care about nobody else. More people lose their position and their big opportunities in life and relationships because of this fault than for all other reasons combined. It is a fault which no well-informed businessman or leader will tolerate. Number 26 reason why people fail: possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. The possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. This is what a lot of people was on Donald Trump about. Oh, your daddy gave you $1 million. You're not self-made. Or this is where, you know, like, say, for instance, a father bestows the company business on the son who never even worked in the business growing up. This is like the Hiltons and Paris Hilton, the Vanderbilts. This is why, what's his name? AC360, Anderson Cooper. He's really Anderson Vanderbilt, but he changed his name because he didn't want to be known by the family name, even though the family still helped him a little bit. Let's keep it 100. His mom is, you know, come on. But possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. Sons and daughters of wealthy men and others who inherit money which they did not earn. Power in the hands of one who did not acquire it gradually is often fatal to success. Quick riches are more dangerous than poverty. Woo. Quick riches are more dangerous than poverty. Number 27 reason why people fail: intentional dishonesty. You are a fucking liar on purpose. It's one thing to be a liar and you don't know it. You just lie and you just always lying and you don't even know why you're lying. But it's another thing that you are just a crook and you just intentional dishonesty. There is no substitute for honesty. One may be temporarily dishonest by force of circumstance over which one has no control without permanent damage. But there is no hope for the person who is dishonest by choice. Should I put that on the t-shirt, you guys? Should I put that on a t-shirt? There is no hope for the person who is dishonest by choice. Sooner or later, their deeds will catch up with them and they will pay by loss of reputation and perhaps loss of liberty, which means your ass go to jail. That's, in other words, you go to jail. Number 28, egotism and vanity. Trying to be fly. Money phones on Instagram, flossing your shit, getting that PPP loan and buying Lamborghinis and bullshit like that. These qualities serve as red flags. He called it red lights. We're going to call it red flags. These qualities serve as red flags which warn others to keep away. They are fatal to success. Number 29, guessing instead of thinking. This is where this is what I'm trying to instill in my son, my oldest son, law right now. Cause he tries, when we're doing homework or something like that, we're going over his studies. He tends to guess when he doesn't know. And I'm trying to instill in him, son, never guess. Dad prefers you to say, Dad, I don't know. And we learn it than for you to just guess something simply because you don't know. Guessing instead of thinking. Most people are too indifferent or lazy to acquire facts with which to think accurately. They prefer to act on opinions created by guesswork or snap judgments. You're too lazy to go learn the whole damn story. This is what Jonathan Barronville reminded me of when he corrected me 2-3 Saturdays ago about the Rittenhouse trial. See, I was too lazy to go learn what Jonathan Barronville learned. I came on YouTube to regurgitate some misinformation. I was guessing instead of thinking. I didn't take the time to go learn what I needed to learn. Jonathan Barronville level set me. It's failure to my success. And number 30. Number 30. Oh, it's more than 30? Okay. Number 30, lack of capital. People just don't have enough money. This is the common cause of failure among those who start in business for the first time, without sufficient reserve of capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they have established a reputation. Number 31, under this, name any particular cause of failure for which you have suffered that has not been included in the foregoing list. In these 30 major causes of failure is found a description of the tragedy of life which obtains for practically every person who tries and fails. It will be helpful if you can induce someone who knows you well. Here's how you say you fix it. This is the solution, you guys. Now, I asked you to write down those 30. First of all, this list of 30 reasons why people fail, you know that you can take that list and go talk to somebody that's close to you, maybe your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband or wife, mother, daughter or son, father, whatever, and be like, yo, that's you, that's you, that's you, and that's you. But here's his solution to get your shit together. It will be helpful if you can call upon somebody who knows you well to go over this list with you and to help analyze you by the 30 causes of failure. It may be beneficial if you try this alone. It may be beneficial if you try this alone. Most people cannot see themselves as others see them. You may be one who cannot. You may be one who cannot. The oldest of admonitions is, man, know thyself. If you market merchandise successfully, you must know the merchandise. The same is true in marketing personal services. You should know all of your weaknesses in order that you may either bridge them or eliminate them entirely. You should know your strength in order that you may call attention to it when selling your services. You can know yourself only through accurate analysis. The folly of ignorance in connection with self was displayed by a young man who applied the manager of a well-known business for a position. He made a very good impression until the manager asked him what salary he expected. He replied that he had no fixed sum in his mind. Lack of definite aim. The manager then said, we will pay you all you are worth. At alter, we try you out for 1 week. I will not accept it, the applicant replied, because I am getting more than that where I am now. Employed. Before you even start to negotiate for a readjustment of your salary in present position or to seek employment, be sure that you are worth more than you now receive. It is one thing to want money. Everyone wants more, but it is something to entirely, wait, let me start this over. It is one thing to want money. Everyone wants more, but it is something entirely different to be worth more. Many people mistake their wants for their just dues. Your financial requirements or wants have nothing whatsoever to do with your worth. Your value is established entirely by your ability to render useful service or your capacity to induce others to render such service. That also applies to relationships. That's why I encourage men to ask women, what is your value to my life? Not what you could bring to the table, but what value do you bring to me? Read that again and apply it to a relationship. You know, we talk about entrepreneurship and relationships over here. This applies to relationships. Gentlemen, ladies, your value is established entirely by your ability to render useful service or your capacity to induce others to render such service. Take inventory of yourself. 28 questions you should ask. Annual self-analysis. You should do this every year. There's an annual self-analysis is an essential in the effective marketing of personal services, as is annual inventory in merchandising. Moreover, the yearly analysis should disclose a decrease in faults and increase in virtues. One goes ahead, stands still, or goes backwards in life. One's object should be, of course, to go ahead. Your intent should be to go ahead. Annual self-analysis will disclose whether advancement has been made, and if so, how much. It will also disclose any backward steps one may have made. The effective marketing of personal services require one to move forward even if the progress is slow. Your annual analysis should be made at the end of each year so you can include in the New Year's resolution any improvements which the analysis indicates should be made. Take this inventory by asking yourself the following questions and by checking your answers with the aid of somebody who will not permit you to deceive yourself as to their accuracy. No yes men. Okay, so here's a list. Here's a list of things that you should do. Hold on a second. Shit. I got all kind of Amazon shit coming. I don't even remember what I ordered. Okay, basically, this is a self-analysis questionnaire that everybody should take every year, once a year. This is basically you competing against yourself. This list is the list that I'm about to read to everybody is questions that you should ask yourself to see if you're better than you were last year. But here's the thing. You got to go over this with somebody who won't let you fucking just, you can't go over this. Ladies, don't go over this with somebody who wants to fuck you. Don't go over this with the homie who wants to smash. You need to go over this list with somebody who will hold you accountable and be like, no yes men. Be like, we'll call you on your shit. I know some of you guys run from those people. You don't even allow people to call you. Like, whenever you meet somebody that call you on your shit, you get rid of them. Because most people are not about accountability. They don't want to become better. But if you know somebody who won't let you, who won't let you call, who's going to call bullshit when they hear it, go over this list with them. All right, here we go. 1, here's a question. Have I attained the goal which I established as my objective for this year? You should work with a definite yearly objective to be attained as part of your major life objective. 1, have I obtained the goal which I established as my objective for this year? Did you do it? Did you meet your goal for the year? 2, have I delivered service of the best possible quality of which I was capable, or could I have improved any part of this service? This is a question that you need to ask somebody that knows you. Number 3, have I delivered service in the greatest possible quantity of which I was capable? Were you a producer? Did you make enough? Did you do enough? Did you create enough? Or did you just do a little bit of peeny-ante shit? 4, has the spirit of my conduct been harmonious and cooperative at all times? Have you been a cool person to everybody you've been in contact with? Or were you a fucking asshole to some people and you know it, and you were still an asshole nonetheless? Number 5, have I permitted the habit of procrastination to decrease my efficiency? And if so, to what extent? Have you procrastinated? Have you bullshitted? Have you watched too many Netflix shows instead of working? 6, have I improved my personality? And if so, in what ways? 7, have I been persistent in following my plans through to completion? 8, have I reached decisions promptly and definitely on all occasions? Quick decisions. You make you come up with the idea, you get it started, and you make it happen right away. Not no long drawn out shit. No waiting. 9, have I permitted any one or more of the 6 basic fears to decrease my efficiency? 10, have I been either overcautious or undercautious? 11, has my relationship with my associates in work been pleasant or unpleasant? This is your coworkers. If it has been unpleasant, has the fault been partly or wholly mine? This is the people you work with. Not just in general, not your boyfriends and girlfriends like I asked a minute ago, but the people you work with. Are you an actor that no other actors want to fucking work with? Are you a manager who everybody hates being on your team? Are you a teammate at work that nobody wants to be working with? Nobody wants to be your partner, your buddy. You need somebody to tell you. See, you won't tell yourself the truth. This is why you need somebody who's not a yes man to tell you this stuff. Man, my gardener's out there. I hope you guys don't get in this background noise. It's loud. 12, have I dissipated any of my energy through lack of concentration of effort? Were you able to concentrate when you were working? 13, have I been open-minded and tolerant in connection with all subjects? 14, in what ways have I improved my ability to render service? Have you worked on making your shit better than it was the day before? 15, have I been intemperate in any of my habits? 16, have I expressed either openly or secretly any form of egotism? Ooh, that ego is powerful, right, y'all? 17, has my conduct toward my associates been such that it has induced them to respect me? Have you commanded respect from your associates, partners, business associates, and friends? Have you commanded respect from them? 18, have my opinions and decisions been based upon guesswork or accuracy of analysis and thought? Are you out there reading article headlines and not actually reading the article? Are you out there learning and trying to get the information so you know what the fuck you're talking about? Or are you just out there guessing or just regurgitating some shit you heard on Instagram and taking it for gospel? 19, have I followed the habit of budgeting my time, my expenses, and my income, and have I been conservative in these budgets? 20, how much time have I devoted to unprofitable effort, which I might have used to better advantage? That's a good one. How much time have you fucking wasted? How much time have you wasted, ladies and gentlemen? How may I rebudget my time? Number 21, how may I rebudget my time and change my habits so I will be more efficient during the coming year? 22, have I been guilty of any conduct which I was not approved by my conscience? Did you do something that you know was wrong? This year, did you do something that you know was wrong? Your conscience, you know you were wrong. Number 23, in what ways have I rendered more service and better service than I was paid to render? Number 24, have I been unfair to anyone? And if so, in what way? Number 25, if I had been the purchaser of my own services for this year, would I be satisfied with my purchase? Were you late? Did you bullshit? Did you fuck up? Did you not do right? Number 26, am I in the right vocation? And if not, why not? Are you working a job you're supposed to be in? Or are you doing some shit you ain't got no business doing? Are you doing some shit you ain't got no business doing? Number 27, has the purchaser of my services been satisfied with the service I have rendered? And if not, why not? Number 28, what is my present rating on the fundamental principles of success? Make this rating fairly and frankly and have it checked by someone who is courageous enough to do it accurately. This list of questions is a cold list if you have somebody that will tell you the God's honest truth about yourself. You might not even like them after they tell you. Be careful, you might lose a friend reading this list, because if they tell you the fucking truth, you may think they're hating. Really, that's really how a lot of people's gonna take it, because they gonna, this is a sidebar. People are gonna get this list. They're gonna say, okay, I got a question here for you. I want you to rate me based on these questions. And when they tell you about yourself, you're gonna think they're lying. You're gonna think that they're hating on you. You're gonna think that they're doing this to purposely hurt you. When the reality is, they're probably telling you the truth about all that shit. You just don't believe it. I'm thinking of people right now in my mind that if I went over this list, they would hate. I won't be able to get past third question. They're going to think that I'm lying. First of all, I've been telling them this for years, or months, or however long I've known them. But once I get they're going to think, I don't know, they're going to think I'm hating. And the reality is I'm not hating. I'm just telling you about yourself. People don't like to hear about themselves, though. They damn sure don't want to get better, but that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here at Rich People Read. That's why we're here with your boy. That's why you guys are here with your boy, Shan. Shout out to you. Having read and assimilated the information conveyed through this chapter, you are now ready to create a practical plan for marketing your personal services in this chapter and will be found an adequate description of every principle essential in planning the sale of personal services, including the major attributes of leadership, the most common cause of failure in leadership, a description of the fields of opportunity for leadership, the main causes of failure in all walks of life, and the important questions which should be used in self-analysis. Alexa, lower the volume to 1. Jeez, Alexa. My gardener's here. She's setting off my alarms and shit. Where did I leave off? This extensive and detailed presentation of accurate information has been included because it will be needed by all who must begin the accumulation of riches by marketing personal services. Those who have lost their fortunes and those who are just beginning to earn money have nothing but personal services to offer in return for their riches. Therefore, it is essential that they have available the practical information needed to market services to best advantage. The information contained in this chapter will be of great value to all who aspire to attain leadership in any calling. It will be particularly helpful to those aiming to market their services as business or industrial executives. Complete assimilation and understanding of the information here conveyed will be helpful in marketing one's own services, and it will also help one to become more analytical and capable of judging people. The information will be priceless to personnel directors, employment managers, and executive charged with the selection of employees and the maintenance of efficient organizations. If you doubt this statement, test its soundness by answering in writing the 28 self-analysis questions. That may be both interesting and profitable, even though you do not doubt the soundness of the statement. Joanna says she got 5 stars on Google. Yeah, Ace. Lex is not listening, but my gardener, he's loud. I hope you guys can't hear that shit. This mic is supposed to block all that shit out. Where and how may one find opportunities to accumulate riches? Now that we have analyzed the principles by which riches may be accumulated, we naturally ask, where may one find favorable opportunities to apply these riches? Very well, let us take inventory and see what the United States of America offers the person seeking riches, great or small. I told you guys it was going to be a long chapter. How many minutes are we in? 2 hours and 49 minutes. That's cool. Y'all hang in there with your boy. Hang in there with your boy, Shan. To begin with, let us remember, all of us, that we live in a country where every law-abiding citizen enjoys freedom of thought and freedom of deed unequaled anywhere else in the world. Most of us have never taken inventory of the advantages of this freedom. We have never compared our unlimited freedom with the curtailed freedom in other countries. Here, we have freedom of thought, freedom in choice of and enjoyment of education. We have, in America, freedom in religion. We have freedom in the politics that we choose. We have freedom in the choice of business. We have freedom in profession. We have freedom of occupation. We have freedom to accumulate and own without any molestation. All the property we can accumulate, freedom to choose our place of residence in America. In America, you have the freedom in marriage. In America, you have freedom through equal opportunity to all races, freedom of travel from one state to another, freedom in the choice of food you eat. You got freedom to aim for any station in life for which we have prepared ourselves, even for the presidency of the United States. Drink break. Oh man, God bless America. God bless this country. You don't understand how free you are. And I've traveled the world. You don't understand how free you are. A lot of you guys don't. We have other forms of freedom, but this list will give a bird's eye view of the most important, which constitute opportunity of the highest order. This advantage of freedom is all the more conspicuous because the United States is the only country guaranteeing to every citizen, whether native born or naturalized, so broad and varied a list of freedom. Next, let us recount some of the blessings which our widespread freedom has placed within our hands. Take the average American. Take the average American family, for example, meaning the family of, average income, and sum up the benefits available to every member of the family in this land of opportunity and plenty. Just food, right? Next to freedom of thought, deed comes food, clothing, and shelter, the three basic necessities of life. Because of our universal freedom, the average American family has available at its very front door the choicest selection of food to be found anywhere in the world and at prices within its financial range. A family of 2 people living in the heart of Times Square district of New York City, far removed from the production of foods, took careful inventory of the cost of the simple breakfast with this astonishing result. Now remember, these numbers is 1925 numbers. They're not today's numbers, but just imagine, it's still on par. The cost at a breakfast table. You got grapefruit juice from Florida, 2 cents. Rippled with breakfast food from Kansas Farm, 2 more cents. That's like oatmeal. Tea from China, 2 cents. Bananas from South America, 2 cents. Toasted bread from Kansas, 2 cents. Fresh eggs from Utah, 7 cents. Sugar from Cuba, half a cent. Butter and cream from New England, 3 cents. Your breakfast costs a total of 20 cents. Your breakfast costs a total of 20 cents. This is 1925, so if you say 2021, say your breakfast costs a total of $8. $8. And you got shit from all over the world. It is not very difficult to obtain food in a country where 2 people can have breakfast consisting of all they want or need for a dime apiece. Observe that this simple breakfast was gathered by some strange form of magic, you guys, from China and South Africa. Your food every day here in America comes from Utah, and it comes from Kansas. It comes from New England. It comes and it's delivered on the breakfast table, ready for you to eat in the heart of the most crowded city in America at a cost well within the means of the most humble laborer. The cost included all of the federal, state, and city taxes. Here is the fact that the politician did not mention when they were crying out to voters to throw their opponents out of office because the people were being taxed to death. Let's now talk about shelter and where you live. B. This family lives in a comfortable apartment, heated by steam, or in our case, natural gas, lighted with electricity, with gas for cooking your food, all for $65 a month. In our case, let's say $1,000 a month. In a smaller city or a more sparsely settled part of New York City, the same apartment can be had for about $20 a month. The toast they had for breakfast in the food estimate was toasted on an electric toaster, which cost but a few dollars. The apartment is cleaned with a vacuum cleaner that is run by electricity. Hot and cold water is available to you at all times, everybody. In the kitchen and your bathroom, we take shits in clean water. Americans, We take a dump in clean, potable drinking water. The food is kept cold in a refrigerator that is run by electricity. Your wife, she curls her hair, she washes her clothes and irons them with easily operated electrical equipment on power obtained by sticking a plug in a wall. The husband, he shaves with an electric shaver. They both receive entertainment from all over the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if they want, without the cost, by merely turning on the dial of a radio, or in our case, the internet or television, Netflix. There are other conveniences in this apartment, but the foregoing list will give a fair idea of some of the concrete evidence of the freedom that we here in the United States of America enjoy. And this is neither political nor economic propaganda. Let's talk about the clothes you wear. I'm a fashion designer, right? Anywhere in the United States, the woman of average clothing requirements can dress very comfortably and neatly for less than $200 a year. And the average man can dress for the same or less. Only 3 basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter have been mentioned. That's what we get in America. Come on, you guys. Fashion Nova, Forever 21, Target, $2, $3 t-shirts, $15 pants, $30 shoes. You may not wear that, but you have the option to. Made somewhere else, but is available to you in America at the drop of a dime. We are not starving for clothing. Nobody's shoes is run to the point where the soles is run a hole. You eat food from all over the world for $5. And you're comfortably in your apartment, heated apartment, walking on soft carpet, plugging in your curling iron as you watch TV or listen to the radio. The average American citizen has other privileges and advantages available in return for modest effort, not exceeding 8 hours per day for labor. And to get all of this, all you got to do is work 8 hours a day. Among these is the privilege of automobile transportation, with which one can go and come at will for a very low cost. In America, everybody can have a car. I'm gonna tell the story about the Indian captain I worked with on the island of Kismayo in Africa in 1994. He was the captain and in charge of our mission. I had 2 cars back home. I had a Mustang and some other shit. He didn't have but a motorcycle that he had to share with him and all his family. And he only had that because he was a captain. None of the soldiers that was up under him from the Indian Army had any kind of transportation. They didn't have no mopeds. They didn't have no car. A car, you can forget about a car. Because over in India, where he lived, he said everybody drove motorcycles and mopeds. And he had a motorcycle but he only had a motorcycle because he was a captain. All his soldiers had nothing. And he was blown away at the fact that I had a car. He was blown away that I owned a microwave. I had just bought this microwave from JCPenney way back in the day, 25 years ago. And when I told him that I had this microwave, he was like, "What? You have a microwave oven?" I was like, "Yeah, everybody has a microwave oven." He was like, No. You guys, I got stories to tell. I should write a book about my life. It'll be a great read. The average American has security of property rights not found in any other country in the world. He can place his surplus of money in a bank with the assurance that his government will protect it and make good to him if the bank fails. If an American citizen wants to travel from one state to another, he needs no passport. No one's permission to go. He may go when he pleases and return at will. Moreover, he may travel by train, private automobile, bus, airplane, or ship as his pocketbook permits. In Germany, Russia, Italy, and most of the other European and Oriental countries, the people cannot travel with so much freedom and at so little cost. Y'all sitting here hating on America. I know the country I fought for. The miracle that has provided these blessings. We often hear politicians proclaiming the freedom of America when they solicit votes, but seldom do they take time to or devote sufficient effort to the analysis of the source of nature of this freedom. Having no axe to grind, no grudge to express, no ulterior motives to be carried out, I have the privilege of going into a frank analysis of this mysterious, abstract, greatly misunderstood something which gives to every citizen of America more blessings, more opportunities to accumulate wealth, more freedom of every nature than may be found in any other country. I have the right to analyze the source and nature of this unseen power because I know and have known for more than a quarter of a century many of the men who organized that power and many who are now responsible for its maintenance. The name of this mysterious benefactor of mankind is called capital. Capital. Capitalism. Capital consists not alone of money, but more particularly of highly organized, intelligent groups of men who plan ways and means of using money efficiently for the good of the public and profitably to themselves. These groups consist of scientists and educators and chemists, inventors and business analysts and publicity men and transportation experts. It consists of accountants and lawyers and doctors and both men and women who have highly specialized knowledge in all fields of industry and business. They pioneer, experiment, and blaze trails in the new fields of endeavor. They support colleges, hospitals, public schools, build good roads, publish newspapers, pay most of the cost of government, and take care of the multitudes detailed essential to human progress. Stated briefly, the capitalists are the brains of the civilization because they supply the entire fabric of which all education, enlightenment, and human progress consists. Money without brains always is dangerous. Properly used, it is the most important essential of civilization. The simple breakfast here described could not have been delivered to the New York family at a dime each or at any other price if organized capital had not provided the machinery, the ships, the railroad, and the huge armies of trained men to operate them. Some slight idea of importance of organized capital may be had by trying to imagine yourself burdened with the responsibility of collecting, without the aid of capital, and delivering to New York City's family the simple breakfast described. To supply the tea, you would have to make a trip to China or India, both a very long way from America. Unless you are an excellent swimmer, you would become rather tired before making the round trip. Then, too, another problem would confront you. What would you use for money, even if you had the physical endurance to swim the ocean? To supply the sugar, you would have to take another long swim to Cuba or a long walk to the sugar beet section of Utah. But even then, you might come back without the sugar because organized effort and money are necessary to produce sugar. To say nothing of what is required to refine, transport, and deliver it to the breakfast table anywhere in the United States. The eggs, right? Hold on. The eggs you can deliver easily enough from the barnyards near New York City, but you would have a very long walk to Florida and return before you can serve 2 glasses of grapefruit juice. You would have another long walk to Kansas or one of the other wheat-growing states when you went to get the 4 slices of wheat bread that you want to eat. The rippled wheat biscuits would have been omitted from the menu because they would not be available except through the labor of trained organization of men whose suitable machinery, all of which call for capital, While resting, you could take off for another little swim down to South America, where you would pick up a couple bananas and put them. And upon your return, you could take a short walk to the nearest farm having a dairy and pick up some butter and cream. Then your New York City family will be ready to sit down and enjoy breakfast. And only then, after you do all of that traveling, you can collect 2 of your dimes for your labor. That's all you get for doing all of that shit. Just 2 dimes. Or in our times, let's say $20. Seems absurd, right? Well, the procedure described would be only possible way these simple items of food can be delivered to the heart of New York if we had no capitalistic system. The sum of money required for the building and maintenance of the railroads and steamships used in the delivery of that simple breakfast is so huge that it staggers one's imagination. It runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars, not to mention the armies of trained employees required to man the ships and trains. But the transportation is only part of the requirements of modern civilization in capitalistic America. Before there can be anything to haul, there must be something to grow from the ground or manufacture and prepare for the market. This calls for more millions of dollars of equipment, machinery, and boxing, marketing, and for the wages of millions of men and women. Steamships and railroads do not spring up from the earth and function automatically. People got to build that shit. They come in response to the call of civilization through the labor and ingenuity and organizing ability of men who have imagination, faith, enthusiasm, decision, and persistence. These men are known as capitalists. They are motivated by the desire to build, construct, achieve, render useful service, earn profits, and accumulate riches. And because they render service without which there would be no civilization, they put themselves in the way of great riches. They make money doing this stuff. Hold on. Where did I leave off at? Just to keep the record simple and understandable, I will add that these capitalists are the self-same men whom most of us have heard soapbox operators speak. They are the same men who radicals, racketeers, dishonest politicians, and grafting leaders refer as the predatory interests or the Wall Street. I am not attempting to present a brief for or against any group of men or system of economics. I am not attempting to condemn collective bargaining when I refer to grafting labor leaders, nor do I aim to give a clean bill of health to all individuals known as capitalists. The purpose of this book, a purpose to which I have faithfully devoted over a quarter of a century, is to present to all who want the knowledge the most dependable philosophy through which individuals may accumulate riches in whatever amounts they desire. I have here analyzed the economic advantage of the capitalistic system for twofold purposes of showing, one, that all who seek riches must recognize and adapt themselves to the system that controls all approaches to fortune, large and small, and two, to present the side of the picture opposite to that being shown by politicians, the demagogues who deliberately becloud the issues they bring up by referring to organized capital as if it were something poisonous. This is a capitalistic country. It was developed through the use of capital, and we who claim the right to partake of the blessings of freedom and opportunity, we who seek to accumulate riches here, may as well know that neither riches nor opportunity would be available to us if organized capital had not been provided by these benefits. For more than 20 years, it has been a somewhat popular and growing pastime for radicals, self-seeking politicians, racketeers, crooked laborers, and on occasion, religious leaders to take pot shots at Wall Street, the money changers, and big business. The practice became so general that we witnessed during the business depression the unbelievable sight of high government officials. Hold on a second. Let me turn my AC on. I'm getting hot. All right, I had to turn my AC on. Sorry about that. I'll start from the top. The practice became so general that we witnessed during the business depression the unbelievable sight of high government officials lining up with the cheap politicians and labor leaders with the openly avowed purpose of throttling the system which has made industrial America the richest country on earth. The lineup was so general and so well organized that it prolonged the worst depression America has ever known. It cost millions of men their jobs because these jobs were inseparable a part of the industrial and capitalistic systems which formed the very backbone of this nation. During this unusual alliance of government officials and self-seeking individuals who were endeavoring to profit by declaring open season on the American system of industry, a certain type of labor leader joined forces with the politicians and offered to deliver voters in return for legislation designed to permit men to take riches away from industry by organized force of numbers instead of better method of giving a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. Millions of men and women throughout the nation are still engaged in this popular pastime of trying to get without giving. Some of them are lined up with labor unions where they demand shorter hours and more pay. Others do not take the trouble to work at all. They demand government relief and are getting it. Their idea of their rights of freedom was demonstrated in New York City, where violent complaint was registered with the postmaster by a group of relief beneficiaries because the postman awakened them at 7:30 in the morning to deliver government relief checks. They demanded that the time of delivery be set up at 10 o'clock. If you are one of those who believe that riches can be accumulated by the mere act of men who organize themselves into groups and demand more pay for less service, if you are one of those who demand the government relief without early morning disturbance when the money is delivered to you, you don't want to be woke up when they bring in you your check. If you are one of those who believe in trading their votes to politicians in return for the passing of laws which permit the raiding of the public treasury, you may rest securely on your belief with certain knowledge that no one will disturb you. Because this is a free country where every man and woman may think as they please, where nearly everybody can live with but little effort, where many may live well without doing any work whatsoever. A lot of people could live here in America and don't do a goddamn thing. God bless America. However, you should know the full truth concerning this freedom of which so many people boast and so few understand. As great as it is, as far as it reaches, as many privileges as it provides, it does not and cannot bring riches without effort. There is but one dependable method of accumulating and legally holding riches, and that is by rendering useful service. No system has ever been created by which men can legally acquire riches through force of numbers or without giving in return an equivalent value of one form or another. There is a principle known as the law of economics. This is more than a theory. It is a law no man can beat. Mark well with the name of the principle and remember it because it is far more powerful than all politicians and political machines. It is above and beyond the control of the labor unions. It cannot be swayed, nor influenced, nor bribed by racketeers or self-appointed leaders in any calling. Moreover, it has an all-seeing eye and a perfect system of bookkeeping, in which it keeps an accurate account of the transaction of every human being engaged in the business of trying to get without giving. Sooner or later, its auditors come around, look over the records of individuals both great and small, and demand an accounting. Wall Street business, big business, capital predatory interests, or whatever name you choose to give the system which has given us American freedom, represents a group of men who understand, respect, and adapt themselves to this powerful law of economics. Their financial continuation depends upon their respecting the law. Most people living in America, like this country, its capitalistic system and all, I must confess, I know of no better country where one may find greater opportunity to accumulate riches. Judging by their acts and deeds, there are some in this country who do not like it. That, of course, is their privilege. If they do not like this country, it is a capitalistic system. It's boundless opportunities. They have a privilege of clearing out. Just pack your shit and leave. Always there are other countries such as Germany. You can go to Russia. You can go to Italy, where one may try one hand at enjoying its freedom and accumulating riches, providing one is not too particular. America provides the freedom and all the opportunity to accumulate riches that any honest person may require. When one goes hunting for game, one selects hunting grounds where game is plentiful. When seeking riches, the same rule would naturally obtain. If it is riches that you are seeking, do not overlook the possibilities of a country whose citizens are so rich that women alone spend over $200 million annually for lipstick, rouge, and cosmetics. And this is in 1925. We already know how much money women spend now. Think twice who you are seeking riches before trying to destroy the capitalistic system of a country whose citizens spend over $50 million of $2025 a year for greeting cards, fucking Hallmark cards, with which to express their appreciation of their freedom. If it is money you are seeking, consider carefully a country that spends hundreds of millions of dollars annually for cigarettes, the bulk of the income from which goes to only 4 major companies engaged in supplying this national builder of nonchalance and quiet nerves. By all means, give plenty of consideration to a country whose people spend annually more than $15 million for the privilege of seeing moving pictures and toss in a few additional million for liquor, narcotics, and other potent soft drinks and giggle waters. Do not be in too big a hurry to get away from a country whose people willingly, even eagerly, hand over millions of dollars annually for football, baseball, and pro boxing. And by all means, stick by a country whose inhabitants give up more than $1 million a year for chewing gum and another $1 million just for safety razor blades. Remember also that this is but the beginning of the available sources for the accumulation of wealth. Only a few of the luxuries and the non-essentials have been mentioned, but remember that the business of producing, transporting, and marketing these few items of merchandise give regular employment to many millions of men and women who receive for their services many millions of dollars monthly and spend it freely for both the luxuries and the necessities. Especially remember, my friends, especially remember that back of all this exchange of merchandise and personal services may be found an abundance of opportunity to accumulate riches. Here, our American freedom comes to one aid. There is nothing to stop you or anyone from engaging in any portion of the effort necessary to carry on these businesses. If one has superior talent, training, experience, and one may accumulate riches in large amounts. Those not so fortunate may accumulate smaller amounts. Anyone may earn a living in return for a very nominal amount of labor. So there you are. Opportunity has spread its wares before you. Step up to the front, select what you want, create your plan, put it into action, and follow through with the persistence. Capitalistic America will do the rest for you. You can depend upon this much. Capitalistic America ensures every person the opportunity to render useful service and to collect riches in proportion to the value of the service. The system denies no one this right, but it does not and cannot promise something for nothing, because the system itself is irrevocably controlled by the law of economics, which neither recognizes nor tolerates for long getting without giving. It doesn't work, not in America. The law of economics was passed by nature. There is no Supreme Court to which the violators of this law may appeal. The law hands out both penalties for its violation and appropriates rewards for its observance without inference or the possibility of interference by any human being. The law cannot be repealed. It is fixed as the stars are in the heavens. and subject to and a part of the same system that controls the stars. May one refuse to adapt oneself to the law of economics? Certainly. This is free country, where all men are born with equal rights, including the privilege of ignoring the law of economics. What happens then? Well, nothing happens until the large numbers of men join forces for the avowed purpose of ignoring the law and then taking what they want by force. Then comes the dictator, well, the organized firing squads and the machine guns. We have not yet reached that stage in America, but we have heard all we want to know about how the system works. Perhaps we shall be fortunate enough to not to demand personal knowledge of so gruesome a reality. Doubtless we shall prefer to continue with our freedom of speech, freedom of deed, and freedom to render useful service in return for riches. The practice by government officials of extending to men and women the privilege of raiding the public treasury in return for votes sometimes results in election, but as night follows day, the final payoffs come when every penny wrongfully used must be repaid with the compound interest on compound interest. If those who make the grab are not forced to repay, the burden falls on their children. Ooh. And their children's children, even unto the third and fourth generation. There is no way to avoid the debt. Men can and do sometimes form themselves into groups for the purpose of crowding wages up and working hours down. There is a point beyond which they cannot go. It is the point at which the law of economics steps in, and the sheriff gets both the employer and the employees. For 6 years, from 1929 to 1935, the people of America, both rich and poor, barely missed seeing the old man economics hand over to the sheriff all the business and industries and banks. It was not a pretty sight. It did not increase our respect for mob psychology, through which men cast reason to the winds and start trying to get without giving. We who went through those 6 discouraging years when fear was in the saddle and faith was on the ground cannot forget how ruthlessly the law of economics exacted its toll from both rich and poor, weak and strong, old and young. We shall not wish to go through another such experience. These observations are not founded upon short time experience. They are a result of 25 years of careful analysis of the methods of both the most successful and the most unsuccessful men America has known. Whew! Scene. 16 people. We down to 15 people. Boy, I told you guys chapter 7 was long. It's the longest chapter in the book. It's the longest chapter in the book. And I remember now. It gets boring at the end. But I'm glad you guys stuck. Who stuck with me? Who's still here? Who's asleep? Who did I put to sleep? And I did it with the new microphone, so I know I put y'all to sleep. I will go back into the chat, but I don't even want to go back. I know, right, Jill? Ooh, wee. That was a long chapter. That chapter was as long as reading 2 chapters before. Mr. Awesome is here, my man. Jill is here. How long are we reading so far? Are we 3 hours in? We are 3.5 hours in. What the hell I got? Why am I reading for 3.5 damn hours? That's reading 3 hours straight. Because I only did 25 minutes of talk before. The monologue was only 25 minutes, but I read for 3 fucking hours. But that's cool that you guys was here with me though. That's Cam Rob is here. Lakeisha, my girl, is here. Bridging the Gap, my man, is here. I know, right? I know y'all was checked out. I'm reading and I'm checked out. I'm reading it and I'm checked out. I'm like, I'm not even like, I'll read something and I'll be like, damn, I don't even know what the fuck I just said. Like, I don't even know what I just read, but I know I read it, but I don't understand it because my mind is wandered like that. I told you guys I don't like to read. I'm not a reader, but I know reading is necessary. Thomas is here. Thomas said he made it back. Thomas had to leave. Thomas had to leave. Man, we made it through, y'all. Let's knock out our key ideas real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. And we'll announce the winner of today's contest. This chapter teaches you how to create a practical plan for changing desire into action. That's number one key idea. The number two is you need to form a group with other people. You need to form a group with other people so that you can access their experience, education, intelligence, and knowledge. Number three, if your first plan doesn't work, make a new one. Just that simple. Number four, you will experience temporary defeat. There's no way around it. Overcoming the defeat is often the thing that allows you to succeed. Number five, most great leaders started out as followers. Number six, here are the important attributes of a leader. Unwavering courage. Oh, I'm not about to read all of that. Number seven, here are the 10 major causes of failure. Not about to read that. Number eight, the first impressions you make is the one that lasts. Pay attention to how you present yourself in the manner of dress, the neatness of your written materials, and other ways that you present your image. Number nine, there are 7 steps to getting exactly the position you want. And that's them. I'm not about to read that. Number 10, the real employer of the future will be the public. That's already here. Number 11, the quality and quantity of service rendered and the spirit in which it is rendered determine to a large extent the price and the duration of the employment. Number 12, there's 30 causes for failure, and that's them. And that's it. Woo! Good chapter, you guys. Shout out to you guys. Thank you, Havaro Forbes. Ooh, I love that last name. Last name Forbes? Oof. Dope. Glad you're here, bro. Thank you, Joanna. I appreciate you. Thank you, LaRonda. That was long. You guys notice that you can't send a super chat, right? That's because they demonetized my channel. They demonetized my channel for 3 days because I didn't verify my identity. I had to send YouTube my driver's license on Friday. And because it was a holiday weekend, they didn't do this shit right away. So I sent they had been asking for my driver's license for like 2 months. And I was just like, I don't even want no payment because they got money that they trying to send me. I'm like, I don't want the money. But they're like, yo, send your driver's license, bro. We don't know if you send us. Who are you? Who is this Shannon guy? So Friday, they demonetized my shit. They was like, okay, bro, we shutting you down. The people that was all the soldiers they're part of the membership. You guys got a notice. That's because they took me down. So I sent them my driver's license. They brought me back up this morning. But it's a process to get all the monetization tools back up. So the membership section is working. The videos are monetized for ads. But the super chats isn't turned on yet. So I got to wait for them to turn super chats on. Hopefully they'll turn it on by tonight. So thank you for everybody. If you guys sent any Cash Apps or YouTubes, I don't know. Maybe you did. Or if you guys became members of the channel, hopefully you're watching this on a full computer or iPad where you see the join button. I want you to join the membership. Or you can just go to join.shannonrawls.com and become a member of our army. You can become a member of our army. There's 5 tiers that you can join from $2.99 a month up to $49.99 a month. That is where I give different content and I talk about different things. Over the weekend, this past Thanksgiving weekend, I strategized my daily task list to make sure I provide that information to all the members. So thank you to everybody that's here. I know some of you guys wanted to send a super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the membership section. That's really important. If you wasn't able to send a super chat and you wanted to, you can always join the members. That's a way of supporting the channel. And that gives me the courage to sit here for 3.5 damn hours reading one chapter of a book to you guys. I can't wait till we read the next book. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What you guys talking about? RCC is here. RCC, yeah, he got his. A to Z Health is here. Hey, Rafaela. I see that pretty picture of yours. She's here. Got great information, yes. Christian Alexander, my man. Yeah, Mr. Awesome got that email. He's like, what's going on? Like, yeah, Shannon got demonetized because he didn't send his driver's license. I sent him my license. They turned me back on this morning, but they haven't turned on all the features. Thank you, Miss Dre. I appreciate you. Did everybody type salute in the chat? We about to do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway, y'all. What do you say? Let's do the giveaway, y'all. Let me close this out. Let me pull up the giveaway screen. Let's do the giveaway. Everybody got to type the word salute in the chat. You got to type the word salute to be involved. And then we'll do the giveaway right now. That's good enough. It's better when it's on the other, but my iPad died. Okay, what do we got? 22 people. Cam Rob, RCC, Mr. Awesome, LaRonda, Jonathan Barronville, Bridging the Gap, The Hungry Millennial, Ace Senior, Javaro Forbes, Red Lipstick Vibes, Princess, Raj, A to Z Health, The Goldie Jones Channel, Lakeisha, Snuggles, Therese, Thomas Thompson, Christian Alexander, Miss Dre, and Miss Parker. So let's close the entries and let's pick a winner. Let's pick a winner. I'm not going to tell you guys the next book. Y'all want to know? I have an idea what we're going to read, though. I have an idea what we're going to read. But I'm not going to tell you right now. We're going to concentrate on this book. And the winner of today's raffle is RCC 72 Detroit. Let me check my list. Make sure RCC hasn't won before. Nope. RCC, you won before. You won. You won this month. So in November, you can only win once. So we're going to pick another winner. See, RCC, see, that's integrity, you guys. He said, I won already. Look what RCC wrote. He said, I won already. That's him stepping up with his integrity, saying, yo, man, it's cool, Shan. Let somebody else win. I already got the prize. I want to let somebody else get that. Shout out to my man, RCC. Let's pick another winner. Here we go. Red Lipstick Vibes. She's won already. She's on the list. She's won already. So we're going to pick another winner. Here we go. Javaro Forbes. I know he's not on the list. Let me add him. Javaro Forbes is the winner. Javaro Forbes is the winner of the chat contest. Now, Javaro, are you here? Javaro, are you here? He's won. All you got to do is send us an email to chatwinner@shannonrawls.com and we'll take care of you. Send us an email to chatwinner@shannonrawls.com and we'll take care of you. Listen. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for being here. We're going to be going live again 2 more times today. I'm doing 2 shows. High Value Shan. One at 5 o'clock tonight and one maybe around 3. Maybe about an hour and a half. I'm going to do another show. But for sure at 5 o'clock, guaranteed. We're doing that show. I want to talk about poor choices. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It's important that you are subscribed to the channel so you can see the so you can get notification as to when we do go live. I want you to get notification as to when we do go live. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you like this video. Please join the army and become a member of the army. All you got to do is hit the join button on my profile. By becoming a member of the army, you get access to our back chat. You get access to the PLDC section, the Primary Leadership and Development Communication private chat. So join us. Now that's for full-time soldiers and higher, but you get access to other videos and private lives by just being a member. So please join. I appreciate everybody. My name is Shannon Rawls. Thank you for reading along with us. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. Tune in next time to Rich People Read. You, my friends, are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Tanto me falta todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Me haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón, te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón, solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente, yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos, es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos, porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso me antojo. Chica, necesito mis anteojos, quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente, yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión, somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Tanto me falta, todas esas noches tan soñadas, que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.